Hello, Games Done Quick, and welcome back. This is another Hotfix show. Whoa, that's what you came for. This is Creature Corner, which is a show all about platforming runs that feature creatures, so non-human animals, all that good stuff. And while we're not, of course, strictly platformers, sometimes we have amazing Sekiro-inspired combat games like Nine Souls coming up. We do all sorts of cool stuff. And before we start, I did want to just say that if you would like to appear on GDQ Hotfix yourself, we are now accepting submissions for the winter season. If you've got a run you'd love to showcase on the channel, send it our way at gdq.gg/submit/hotfix. Type !submit in chat for more details. Our second run of Legend of K, which y'all should absolutely stick around for after this Nine Souls run, was submitted that way. So you can be featured on the GDQ channel if you'd like to submit. It's a pretty cool thing to do. Now, speaking of after Nine Souls, this is Nine Souls, All Souls and Seals by Herdingoats. Have fun. Enjoy.
Hello, this is Herdingoats. I'm generally the person running this category. I currently have the record in this and no major glitches. And I've been running this for a few months, like maybe 3/4 of a year now. These guys have been here a lot longer. These are Lirkz and Sherplung, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Sure. Hi, I'm Lirkz. I'm a former runner. I commentated the Any Percent run on here like 9 months ago. I also am co-host for Nine Souls community account stuff. Back when I actually ran, All Souls and Seals was my category of choice.
Hi, I'm Sherplung. I'm also a washed former runner. I used to run also All Souls and Seals as well, and I was on here commentating Sun Tzu's Any Percent run, the same one that Lirkz is commentating. So, yeah, hope you guys enjoy.
Okay, so we just make a countdown, I believe. So I guess 3, 2, 1, and I'm gonna start.
Good luck.
Hopefully that was okay.
Oh, yes. You're good to go.
So there is actually a trick immediately, which is that moon jump. It saves almost no time, but it's very funny to do, so I like to try to start every run with it. We do skip the first 7 minutes of this game because it's basically a walking to the right while cutscenes play simulator. And the cutscenes are nice and stuff, but it is not fun to do when you're doing a speed run over and over again. The main way I'm going to be moving around through this game is through this dash jumping until I get an upgrade that allows me to move faster. It is the current fastest way to move around because every time you land, you will get your dash back. So you will just keep dashing and jumping. You are invincible while dashing in this game. And yeah, this is the section I've played like thousands of times because it's the 8-man facility where they are harvesting these ape men for reasons that maybe if you guys want to talk about how the story is going right now, that would be cool for a bit while I think about breaking this wall right here.
So the gist of what we skipped, the 7 minutes of just dialogue, is that basically this guy, whose name is Yi, he was living in a village with a bunch of humans, which are called 8 men in the game for reasons. And basically, he saved this boy from a decapitation machine, and now he's here. This is where the people in the decapitation machine go, and
hence all the decapitated people that have been in the background for a lot of this area.
Yep. They're being decapitated for reasons that we will see later. Basically, like biological computer reasons.
Whoa!
But
little lag spike there.
Coming up here is our first arena.
Yeah, actually get to fight some guys here. Not going to be using my talisman mechanic yet, but let's see how the RNG goes with these guys. I don't like when this guy likes to camp this staircase.
Not being very
obnoxious.
Nice. Yeah, he did not have good things to say about you right there.
The first use of the talisman.
When he gets under the staircase, it's very hard to animation cancel combos, so you just kind of end up getting hit a bunch if you're trying to kill him quickly. It's fine just damage boosting through him, as I'm not too worried about anyone killing me here, although it will be very embarrassing if that does happen. But try not to have that happen on the first mini-boss coming up. Would anyone like to talk about the parry-focused combat of this game, as we are going to actually start doing some combat as we get to this first mini-boss coming right up here, Bai Chang?
Yeah, so he's running up to the boss right now. We'll see in a second. Nine Soul is very much Sekiro-inspired, as well as by other Metroidvanias. So as you'll see, and as he's already been doing, there's slash combat, this idea of attacking, but then like other games and its inspiration, of course, there's also parrying. The main difference for Nine Souls, as you'll see in a second here, is on top of the normal slash parry, we also have a redirection. So the idea behind the talisman system is that we hit them, we take their attacks, and we redirect their attacks towards them. You see with weaving through the attacks with the talisman here. And you want to explain the slowdown?
Yep, skip the slowdown by doing a little jump cancel of my final attack. I don't know why that works, but it does skip the slowdown that would normally take like 2 seconds for you to watch through. As we are getting through my least favorite part of the game coming up, the cutscene gauntlet, as I normally call it, as there are many, many cutscenes in a row here as the game is explaining the hub area that we are about to enter into. As Rui here talks to us about Fusang, if anyone wants to talk about the great roots of this world.
Yeah, so these black tendrils are called Fusang. You'll see them all over the place, usually in the save points. It's a weird plot device plant that just does whatever the story kind of wants from it at any given time. We don't have to,
and did revive us at the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So right now it's kind of explaining to you that the general premise of what Yu wants to do here. So basically, he was betrayed by the titular Nine Souls, and now he wants to kill all of them. Well, kill if necessary all of them. Just get their soul seals is what he needs to do. Killing them will just happen along the way.
Well, kill if necessary, except he's biased towards killing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he generally
He's not very nice.
dislikes 80% of the souls, so he will be pretty violent towards most of them. He is not really the greatest person, despite being the main character. Doing a little save quit to prevent myself from having to open a door to my left, as it takes a little bit longer to open the door to my left. So we just save quit out and then just talk to Rui right here in his giant, weird, gross brain Pokeball looking thing.
Oh.
Yeah. One of the few elements of the game that are actually 3D models.
Yeah, along with Fusang.
Yeah, Fusang back there, and the arena for the final boss are all 3D models. And also something in the next area, I believe. The Radiant Pagoda. But we'll see that later. So yeah. Now we're just getting talked to about how we're turning on the pavilion and making sure nobody can find us here.
Also activating our Jade system.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is the badge points, charm, notches, whatever you want to call them of this game. We're not going to get a whole lot of use out of them, but we are activating it because the story requires us to. We will use the Jades a little bit, but mostly we're just going to use them to cause some menu glitches later on in the game. So we talked to our adopted child, Sean here, although you guys have the better pronunciation of the name.
Yeah.
Just pronounce it the way it looks.
But also, I think worth noting here, since I think we have a bit of time, funny fact about the Jade system, we used to have a different speedrun patch since Red Candle gave us a speedrun beta. However, I think a few weeks after we got that, we had to ask them to change it again, because it turns out that on this specific patch, there's both a new glitch that allows us to store Jades, which we'll see later, and allows us to do some older glitches.
We will not see that later.
Oh yeah, that's not in the run anymore.
Okay, that's still true. We still do use the Jade patch, though. My bad.
Yeah.
We do still use the Jade patch, because it doesn't have any harm.
But yeah, I will not be activating Jade storage because it goes against the other glitch I'm going to use Jades for. as if I activate Jade storage, I won't have enough Jades to break the menu
It's a
without
lot
having to pick up more Jades, which isn't overly useful for me because the only Jade I can actually activate with the Jade storage is Stasis Jade, which is generally not the most useful Jade when you're basically only fighting bosses, as they're pretty much immune to it.
Yeah, so that guy we just saw was Lear. He's like an ancient sage guy, founder of Taoism. It's weird. We like both teach him techniques and he teaches us the techniques. It's weird time paradox stuff. Just don't think about it too hard.
Yeah, once again, Puzon just being a plot
Circle
device.
of Tao.
Yep, it's a
All
plot
I see
device.
are lots of creatures. I'm down with this. It's fine.
There are plenty of creatures,
Plenty.
Mostly
including
robots.
this one in the stairs right now.
A lot of robots, a good
count.
few cats. And
Yeah.
I mean, the
some
robots are
similar
probably
looking things in a
part
second.
cat or something. I'm not fully sure what the robots are meant to be.
I think they're
There's some
biomechanical.
Yeah.
They're definitely biomechanical.
No,
I
they're
just
like-
don't know what the bio part of them is.
It's either cat or human,
like-
one or the other.
They're
I
definitely
mean, they
like
existed
fleshy parts
before
on the
we
inside.
had Ape Man, so presumably they have cats in them, I would think. But
I don't know, the J Kingdom is a whole other thing.
like the G
Yeah.
Kingdom had these robots going before we had Ape Men, so they can't just be Ape Men. Some of them might be, but our first speedrun trick is about to happen in a moment, which is called rope storage. Does anyone want to explain the fun, enjoyable rope storage glitch, which is one of the funnier glitches in my opinion?
Yeah,
in this
this is
game.
my favorite piece
Yeah.
of tech personally. So you'll see we'll be keeping this guy for a second. The skip's actually known as Roomba Skip because of him. And you'll see in a second that Goat's gonna climb down onto the rope and then get hit by it. And the reason that switching the keyboard. The reason why we do that is because you'll see in a second, once he gets his mobility back, he's going to drop down here and simply teleport through the door. And so essentially how rope storage works is that if you get hit as you're climbing down onto a rope, it kind of stores your state as being both on the rope and not, hence the name rope storage. And it has some very weird properties. So if you press up or down, which is why he switches to keyboard when we have rope storage active, is you'll be teleported to the X coordinate of the rope, but not the Y coordinate. So it allows you to just teleport through walls. If you teleport into a wall,
Assuming
you'll
that
get
it's
damaged.
lined up with the rope.
Yeah, assuming that's lined up with the rope. Otherwise, you'll just like get damaged from teleporting into a wall. Has some weird properties such as being able to climb infinitely up and down. However, if you touch a normal rope, not even climb it, just touch it, you'll lose the state. So you have to be careful with that as well, which is why he didn't start moving right until after he fell under the rope.
Also going to do another quick little glitch here where we jump over and hit this guy in the back, which for some reason causes him to miss one cycle of this tutorial. So he will actually just let me
give him-
leave the tutorial after 2 cycles
This tutorial
instead
is
of
very
3.
broken.
You give him a concussion and he just forgets.
Does not go through his entire setup there. Just lets us leave a little bit early, which is nice. Save a little bit of time. We don't need to be taught how Tai Chi kicking works.
Counting to 3 is overrated. It's fine. 2's on.
It is pretty funny that in to actually complete this game in like an any percent category, Tai Chi kick is one of the only 2 upgrades you need to actually finish this game.
Wow.
The other being air dash, which we will be collecting next. But we are a little bit off collecting air dash yet.
Yeah. For those that don't know what Tai Chi Kick does, for all intents and purposes, it lets us bounce off green things. That's it. If
It is
something is
similar
green,
to
then
the Mariki counter in Sekiro, in that it normally is a parry to thrust type moves. Normally when an enemy is going to do an unblockable thrust attack, they will glow red, and then they will glow green, and then they will thrust at you. And then when they become green, you can hit them with a Tai Chi kick, and you will do some internal damage to them, which can be detonated with talismans. And you will gain some key charges, which allow you to use your talismans. So I collect a little bit more money here. We need about 2,000 Jin total for this entire run to collect 2 different upgrades I'm going to want to have.
Most of it's got
One
around
of
the start
them
of the
to
game.
kill a boss faster, and one of them is going to be used for a wall we can't get through. Here is Hell Hack, where we distract these enemies and then quickly try to hack this door before they actually beat me up, so that we don't have to kill those guys. They have shields and there's a lot of them and it takes a long time to actually get rid of them, so we just let them try to hit me and then get on through that. As we collect this money, I try to aggro this enemy because sometimes he is convenient here and gives me a key, which he did. If he doesn't give me a key, I have to get it from that little dog thing. But he did give me a key, so that actually saves me a brief amount of time, which is really cool. He almost never does that, in all honesty. He's kind of a jerk.
Yeah. So here we
get
have
our first hang cutscene.
Yeah.
This
So
is Yee's sister.
This is Yee's sister, who. Yeah, she's here. I won't explain anymore because
mythologically, she would normally be Yee's wife in the original version, but she is not the sister in the original mythology version.
they just swapped it around.
Yeah, they swapped it around because they wanted more of a family dynamic, it seemed.
Yeah. All that's happening in this cutscene is that they're playing Space Go, which they call Gyeonkun. It's just a board game.
Yeah, and they talk about the towers in the background and how Yi will eventually fix them back when they were dilapidated, and how the people of that time were too against science because a lot of bad things happened during that time that these battery things were made. So I'm going to do a coyote jump into a talisman to grab this rope without having to go all the way around. We're getting pretty good RNG on these enemies. I mean, that first enemy in the arena fight was a huge jerk, but the rest of the enemies have been pretty cooperative. That archer actually gave me a key, which allowed me to not have to Tai Chi kick there, which saves like 1 second. It's very minor, but another very minor time save happening there as we go over to turn on the Radiant Pagoda, where the first boss would be. We have to hack this terminal.
Yeah.
And when you're hacking terminals, is it just button presses?
Yes. I use the D-pad for them, but you can actually use basically anything for inputting these hacks for some reason, including like your attack buttons. I don't know why they coded you to be able to use those. Normally that just causes problems where I accidentally am mashing dialogue and then start hacking and mess up the hack. But second arena fight is coming up here. This one is relatively annoying. Luckily, if you die in this one, it does make a checkpoint right here. But this is kind of an awkward one to try to time out perfectly. I think we got everything for the first phase there. Now we got the second phase.
The strategy here is generally to group up all of the enemies, and so that your attacks hit all of the enemies at once and you deal way more damage.
Actually, not even sure what happened to that sword guy. Did he like pump fake me?
I don't know.
I thought he was gonna kill me.
I was very close.
Football game?
You try to break your ankles.
He like pulled his sword up, but then he didn't swing down, and then he like started his animation over, it looked like, and I was like, well, that was cool because I think he was gonna kill me if he actually swung there. I'm not sure if it would have been enough damage to kill me because it wasn't his Crimson Slash, but it would have hurt really bad.
Have we discussed All Souls and Seals, the actual rule set yet? Because I can cover it quickly as we're coming up to the first boss.
Yes, because this is going to look really weird based on the rule set.
So the reason the category is named All Souls and Seals is because, one, we're collecting all the Soul Seals, which you'll see us do throughout the game. The first one's coming up here. And the All Souls part is that we're not technically fighting all the souls, but we're fighting every boss attached to the Soul Seals. So, for example, Ying Zhao
basically, he's
here,
just trying to say Ying Zhao isn't really a soul, but he still counts.
Yes, that is exactly what I'm saying. And same with the Skyrunning Claw. We'll see in a bit.
So we will be fighting Ying Zhao.
We will be fighting
However,
Ying Zhao. Not right now.
Will not be fighting Ying Zhao right now.
Ying Zhao.
Yeah. They forgot to close the door, so we can just do a little coyote jump and talisman and completely bypass the fight. And talk to Kwafu here, as he is mad that we killed Ying Zhao for some reason. I'm not sure why we didn't do that. So we will be finding Ying Zhao later.
Yeah, a fun thing with Ying Zhao is trying to guess how long we are going to put off this boss fight. Because it's going to be put off for a really, really long time.
Yeah, make your guesses now. We'll see later.
Yeah, have fun trying to guess how late in the run this boss happens, because it's very late.
Yeah.
It is definitely going to look like we forgot this boss, but I assure you we will come back here eventually.
Unless you actually forget him. That's
Unless I
happened before.
actually forget, which would be bad. But I have a save state in case I forget, for real. I do have the save state set up if I need to. Oops, I forgot to set up the Ying Zhao fight. But I shouldn't forget that. It is pretty easy to remember normally. It's just much later from now as we go through our little Kwafu memory things. Every time we beat a boss, we go through this little memory section where we see basically... do you guys want to explain this? These like little lore bits here?
I can explain that. So basically, Kwafu was, before Yi was betrayed by the council, actually, they were bros. And Kwafu is in charge of this area, which is the power reservoir. He's the big engineer guy. And after
we're more like the programmer.
Yeah, we're more like the programmer. So he's basically defecting from the rest of the souls right now to go help us. And he will be providing us with exactly 2 upgrades, which are attached to the same item.
2 upgrades I buy will be from him, so...
Yeah. And 2 upgrades and 1 item, and the only 2 upgrades.
And the item's free.
Yeah, we used to get more upgrades in earlier versions, but nowadays we only get 2.
No, just because
we kind of have to get these upgrades because of things we're skipping. So going back to this 8-man area instead of going to where we're supposed to go, which is Pavilion, and we're going to use this area to kind of go through some zones in the wrong order. So I can get some quick upgrades as I do a little float here to go past this cycle, so I don't have to wait for that. So I jump over to this grapple point. So we're going to get our next upgrade. It is kind of sad how long it takes us to actually get to the first boss we really fight in our all bosses category, but I assure you, once we start fighting bosses, they do start happening at a more and more frequent rate the further and further into the game you go. So right now I'm just using my talisman jumps as a pseudo air dash to get through a lot of these little sections here. We're going to be picking up our first Dao fruit, which is a thing that gives us a skill point that we can use to level things. So far, we've spent 1 skill point to get 1 extra talisman that we can hold, just to make certain tricks easier. I'm going to delay a little bit here to make sure this enemy doesn't get stuck in the roof, because he likes doing that a whole lot. So he shouldn't get stuck in the roof because I delayed myself a little bit. If you don't delay yourself, he has a chance of being stuck in the roof, and I've just found that it's worth losing half a second to make sure that I don't lose 20 plus seconds from this guy getting stuck in the roof.
Looks like we got lucky enough.
So we're actually going to bring this guy and manipulate his AI. We have to bring him over to a rope to do rope storage again. This time we're going to be doing static rope storage, where we stay up top by using a talisman. We do a little high jump glitch here as we jump over here, and we're going to go through this section. Normally you go through this section the other direction, but we're going to be going through this completely backwards as I remove rope storage, use my slashes to get a little bit of extra height so I can make a few of these jumps that I shouldn't be allowed to make. And now we are going to be going into the 3rd zone of the area from the wrong direction, so that we can get a new upgrade as we pile ourselves into these 8-man corpses to traverse.
Yeah, technically you can do the first 3 bosses in any order in 9 Souls. However, you do have to get the first 2 abilities normally. You have to get you have to get the abilities in order. So we're supposed to have Charge Strike before we get here, but of course, we don't actually need it.
and we will not be getting that.
You'll
we'll
actually
not
not
get
get
Charge
Charge Strike at all in this playthrough. We're going to completely skip that ability, which is why we need to get one of the upgrades, which is letting our bow work like a Charge Strike. Because the game does use Charge Strike to block off some areas of the game, so we need some way of doing a Charge Strike equivalent move, which we will be using our bow for once we collect that. But for now, we're going to be going back into this, what is it called again? I keep forgetting the name of this thing.
Limitless Realm.
And this is where we get our air dash. The way I move around is going to be a lot different now. Instead of dash jumping, I'm going to be jump dash parrying. And sometimes I'll be jump dash slashing. The jump dash slash is a little bit faster, but it's also a little wonkier generally. It's a lot safer to use parry. Oh. Whoopsie. Should have used more slashes to get over that. That, I believe, is a 4-second time loss when you fall in those pits generally.
Yeah.
It's
As
fine.
we talk to Lear here again.
It's all good.
Yep. You don't actually take any damage and you can't die in these zones, but you can fall in pits and it will respawn you. Luckily, it wasn't a section where I hadn't touched the ground for a while, because the way this game's respawn mechanics work are very janky, and I am going to abuse those a few times throughout the run, where the game will only let you spawn on flat ground that isn't a corner and isn't considered dangerous, although sometimes the game does a bad job of determining what is not dangerous, as it will allow me to spawn in some areas that I honestly don't think it should, but hopefully that won't happen to me. We're going to use our horn that we got from Lear earlier in the game to fast travel back to Pavilion. Anyone wants to explain the weirdness of how we're going to actually store this node as we continue on through the game, and I remember to actually pick up the bow in this run.
Yeah. So back when we first met Lear, he gave us this horn that allows us to travel from any other root node to the root node in the pavilion. And when you do that, and after you do that, you have an option at the node in the pavilion to return to last node. It does not return you to the last node. Instead, what it does is that it returns you to the node that you most recently returned to pavilion from, if that makes sense. So we will be abusing that later.
Yeah, so essentially I'm allowed to save at other nodes if I wanted to, but it would still go back there. Although preferably I'm not going to save at other nodes, because I'm going to try to use save quit to go back to that last save point. So hopefully I won't mess up a very difficult trick that's coming up, which will require me to load a backup that is going to be using a different save point, which will then require me to walk a whole bunch. But we'll see. Almost forgot that I need some money here. I'm gonna pick up all this money as we continue forward. As we do need to collect another 1,000 Jin before we go back. We're gonna skip this little guy here who wants to give me a music sheet that I do not want.
So yeah, that was...
Use a vault to glitch on up there.
We haven't explained ledge storage yet, have we?
Yeah, we haven't explained ledge storage and vaults, if you want to explain what I just did to do that weird second jump in midair.
So essentially, ledge storage is the most commonly used tech, at least throughout any percent, and I haven't actually checked it this run as well. And essentially how it works is there's a variety of attacks that if you there's a variety of abilities that if you use them off a ledge while slashing, you can maintain the state of being on a ledge, which allows you to do some very weird things, such as you saw there, vaulting over the air, and eventually allowing us to do a triple jump with that later, and a couple other cool things that we'll see as time goes on.
Also, if you're wondering why we were just flying there, that's just something you can do. All you need to do...
Yeah, it's a bow float.
Yeah.
It's actually super easy to do. We're going to be doing another one in a moment, but this next one is actually very difficult.
This one requires a specific height.
Where that first one was extremely easy.
Yeah.
An alien
This is
cat.
one of
I can
the-
believe that we can fly. It's all good.
Yeah, this is one of the harder
Alright.
skips in the run, which is elevator skip. So there's a big
And
rectangular.
I did get
Oop.
that to not work.
Okay, so we need to go
I
for the
will have
backup.
to go grab more arrows.
Unfortunate. That does happen though.
Yeah, this skip is very difficult.
And this save's also
The,
very difficult.
Yeah,
I think I'm just going to
the-
go get the easy to get arrows, just to
Yeah,
just to not have to do that forever. So what you can do here is if you know you're going to mess up, or you've already messed up before the jump, is you can just go and get more arrows back from where you just got them. If you mess up the jump in a different way, I would have to load the back. But luckily, I messed up the jump in the least egregious way, which is to just not get the float, which means that I hit the bow button too late after jumping. I was too high in the air, as you can only do a bow float low to the ground. But for this trick, I need to do the bow float as high up as possible, so I try to delay the bow float, which is difficult. And then it is going to require me to also do a vault and a whole bunch of knockbacks with my bow. As we will try to do this again, I grab ledge storage. This is pretty low to the ground, but we'll try to get it.
Should be doable.
this is still possible.
I think I
That's
have missed it. So we will have to
unfortunate.
load, unfortunately.
Unfortunate.
This is the trick I was most worried about in the run, which is why this save is here.
It does mean we'll have to run back, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately,
Yeah.
we won't be able to just do the simple save quit where we'll save quit the pavilion. We will instead have to save quit to this point. But that is just how it be.
Yep.
That's much
We were
better.
discussing this. Yeah, this is the height you want to be at. The window for.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Okay.
Turnaround didn't happen. Well, luckily it's way less scary once we've already messed it up.
It happens.
Because you can
This-
just keep reloading it. Yeah, this is definitely the trick I was most scared of in the run. If I actually don't do the trick, it requires me to go like a 5-minute extra duration. So, yeah, it's a brutal trick.
I believe the window for just the float at the start is around 4 frames, and the earliest 2 frames of that are
That should
very
be good.
difficult to actually hit. There we go.
Nice.
And you grab the ledge and you make it up there.
So
I'm glad we got to
I'm
see it 'cause
sorry
it's
for
really
messing it
cool
up.
looking.
I practiced it so
You're
much
great.
and still,
It's a
this-
hard
this
when
skip
the
in-
nerves get you, they get you.
Exactly.
This skip in particular, no amount of practice will prepare you for doing it in an actual run. It's just hell.
yeah.
Yeah, if I mess it up in a run where I'm actually going for like world record, I will just restart my whole run.
Yeah,
It
missing
is
it
not a
is
very fun trick.
Which while we're doing this, I guess
Gonna open that, but we're not actually going to collect the object in it yet, because we're going to actually use that object to break a save point. Now, interestingly, we are entering this boss fight from the back, so we're actually going to collect the soul seal for beating the boss before we have even seen this character. So you're going to see all of their backstory, as we have skipped all of this character's cutscenes by jumping over that elevator.
you get to
As
see your
she would
backstory, and then we
normally
get to feel bad about
start
killing her.
harassing you as she traps you in that elevator, and then you would go through a whole bunch of dialogues with her as you go through her zone, with you both escalating your hatred of each other. You have a very much a rivalry with this character as the other student of your mentor. If anyone wants to talk more about Gomang,
Yeah, so she
Yeah.
is the other student of Yi's mentor, who we will meet later. She was shown in one of those memories that we were walking by. And essentially, they have a bit of a rivalry. Throughout this area, it gets even worse, especially with Yi's betrayal. And then, although you just saw her, honestly, very sad backstory, we're about to kill her pretty brutally. So,
yeah, she's gonna be not nice to us, and we're gonna be really not nice to her. So
yeah.
Yi is not a very good person, and we will see that for ourselves right here.
Yeah, this is definitely the moment that people generally go, oh, I don't think the character I'm playing is the good guy in this video game.
Yeah.
He is definitely not just a hero in this game. He is out for more than just justice. He is very mad and hates especially this character.
He hates most people, but
Yeah.
As she eats her weird eyeball
Yeah.
fruit.
Yeah, there's no lore behind that. It's just weird.
well,
This is also probably my least favorite fight in this game in terms of soul bosses. She's just not very fun. It is one of those fights where you're fighting more than one enemy, and she doesn't really do anything. So I am going to try to go for a 1 cycle for her. I will need to use all of my resources to kill her as fast as possible, so we're just going to try to knock down one of these enemies so that she can try to revive it. He is starting with a very annoying move. Okay, that move does not change directions like I thought it did.
We don't like these guys. They're just annoying.
No, they're very annoying. Just gonna heal up in case I get stabbed. And I should be good. 3 hits bow, 3 hits bow, 3 hits bow, 3 hits talisman,
And
3 hits
quick
talisman.
lore warning, by the way.
Beautiful.
This part's pretty
Yeah.
dark. Actually, very
I'm
dark.
over.
That is
It's
the
about-
Warning.
main trick that I discovered in this game. This route used to not be able to 1 cycle her because you used to use charge attack to 1 cycle this
Also,
boss.
there go her legs.
But I figured out that by using your talismans to reset your air combo without actually detonating them, you could get off enough hits before detonating them to defeat this boss. If people want to talk about how air resets work,
yeah,
as that is
I can do
definitely
that.
what I was doing there.
So in this game, you can usually only attack 4 times in the air before you have to touch the ground again. But there are a couple of ways where you can reset that, and so you can do more air attacks before touching the ground. So basically, the easiest way is that a talisman will instantly reset all of your air options, just in general, not just attacks. But for bow and air dash, specifically, those two, you can do a max of 4 in the air.
Just
you
quick,
can,
picking up
if
that
you do
dark
a
steel is
bow-
what
oh,
resets our save point, so we'll go back to the last save point we used. Normally this would be Pavilion, but because I messed up that trick, it is over here. So now we just have to walk back to Pavilion. And then we get
Yeah.
to resume the route as it was meant to be. The one good thing about this mistake and having to go through it this way is that we actually do get to grab a node I was going to have to backtrack for anyway. So that does save 40 of the seconds I'm losing here. Like, this loses like 2 minutes, but it actually only loses like 1:20 because it's removing a 40-second section from later in the run, where we would have normally had to walk back to Daybreak Tower, where that guy was trying to give us his music sheet, which unfortunately I will have to collect from him, as he's going to still be there and wanting to give me that music sheet, and I will not be able to jump over him from the other side.
Yeah.
But he doesn't talk that long, luckily, if you are holding down the button. That lets you speed up the dialogue, so we'll only lose a few seconds from that guy talking to us.
Yeah.
Sorry for cutting you off there.
It's
I just
fine.
wanted to mention some stuff that was more prevalent with what's currently happening
What I was getting to was
as we wander back.
you can reset your number of air slashes with the bow, but only if you have not yet used all of them. So you can use 3 air slashes and then bow, and then you'll have all 4 of your slashes back. If you use all 4, then it does not work for some reason unknown to me. But that's
Yeah, bow will only do a partial reset, where you can't get a reset if you've already swung too many times, but a talisman will give you a full reset of everything. Gives you your air dash back, it gives you your double jump back, gives you all of your abilities back once you've performed the talisman in minute. So once we get back to the pavilion, because we have not actually used like we've used the save points, but we didn't actually use the teleporting feature of the save points. We have not actually changed what our last node is. And because of that, it will allow us to teleport back to where the air dash node was, which is actually at the beginning of the third area of the game, which is where we now have to go. So that'll save us a lot of time. It also skips through a few random scenes. There's like this little weird horror jump scare scene that we're going to skip over. And we don't have to go through the weird flame zone that we would normally have to go through. We can delay that until we actually have to be in the flame zone, which is, I believe, called Factory.
Yep.
Yeah, it's Factory. There we we use that dark steel to purchase an upgrade for our arrows, which will, as we explained earlier, allow them to work like charge attacks, because we do not have charge attack, and we will never have charge attack.
So now we have a limited use charge attack. We get 3 of them per save point. Okay. That was an example of how far that it won't spawn you on things like slopes. So it just sent me back to the last time it thought I was safe, which was on that box. This is probably the hardest trick in the run, but the penalty is much lower than most tricks. So this trick you can go for a while before it starts actually punishing your time. And I actually immediately got it.
Try?
Oh my god.
That is the hardest trick in the run, and I immediately have to redo it, but let's bring this dumb enemy down here. Come here, buddy.
Hey,
so
you
what's
get
happening?
first try.
What's happening here is
it needed me to show off how annoying this trick actually is. And I immediately hit it again.
Never mind.
Sherplung, you want to explain it?
we promise, guys, this trick is hard.
Very hard. I still haven't hit it once.
That trick is actually like the hardest trick in like any of the speedrun categories of this
I think
game.
it's like a multiple 1 frames in a row.
Funny, we
if I
said that
recall.
about elevator skip.
Yeah, it's very, very difficult. Requires like a 1 frame turnaround, a 1 frame jump, and then like a buffered 1 frame off the wall. And I'm having a lot more trouble with this one, which is actually way easier. I'm just not getting the distance on it.
Yeah. So
There we go.
what's
There we
happening
go.
here is that it's some more ledge storage shenanigans, and we missed the cycle here. Unfortunate. Never mind.
Yeah, I wanted to see if I could get it, but if you miss the cycle, you can go for jumping off that corner, because the corner is a little glitchy, but didn't get it. Oh wait, I actually want to lower my camera here, because if that crusher is not on the screen, it does not exist.
Yep.
So normally that crusher would destroy that platform, so I would not be able to make that jump. But because I lowered my camera, the game decided the crusher just wasn't there, and it did not activate its cycle and did not crush the block. Just a nice little trick you can do is that this game has a kind of janky camera system that if things aren't on the screen, sometimes they just don't exist. And that crusher is one of those things that does not exist if it's not on the screen.
Yeah.
We got this giant invincible robot now as we're just going to walk through this zone. This guy didn't give us the good RNG, so we club him in the
I
head.
asked for this thing for Christmas. I want it.
We're going to jump.
Looks
I
so
wish.
much fun.
Yeah, the invincible giant
Exactly.
robot that we get to use like one time.
I'm not sure it's road legal.
I don't know why my air parries aren't working. As we go to my favorite cutscene in the game, the pickle jar
I think it's all of our
cutscene.
favorites.
It's everyone's favorite.
I love the pickle jar cutscene. This one's great. It's an adorable
Get ready,
cutscene.
Chat, you are required to type the sound effect. This is not a request. This is a requirement.
Mandatory.
Mandatory. It's coming.
If you want to talk about this cutscene, I love this one.
There's not too much to talk about. The part to talk about is
Well,
coming up
you want
soon.
to talk about the sound effect, which is coming up in a moment.
Yeah.
Once Hang has entered this pickle jar. She squeezes her way in there.
Bleh.
There's the bleh.
Perfect. Anyways,
So lore-wise, basically what's happening here is the people of Jia, which is the nation Yi is from, do not like technology because of the war that happened a while ago in lore. That's a lot of stuff to explain.
They're very strict.
Yeah, they're
Taoists
extremely
as well.
strict Taoists, but Yi really likes science and technology, so he hides in the pickle fermenting jars to be able to research science stuff. But of course, his sister joins him, and that's how we get this scene.
So this section of the game is definitely the section with the most glitches, like in rapid succession, that are going to be happening.
One of the coolest.
Just a lot of weird things in this section that you can... Oh, I just forgot that was a 2-part hack and just didn't do the second half of the hack because I waited for the cutscene.
That's not the glitch.
First thing you see is that we break that one-way wall from the wrong side via just sticking our faces right up to it and using the bow, which just happens. It works like that. On earlier patches, you could do that with charge
by
strike.
clinging to that wall and using a charge attack, but we don't have the charge attack, so we use our bow instead. So I use this save point, not because I need a save point, but because I need to refill my arrows for more tricks. I need to get this idiot's attention so we can do rope storage again. So I need this little guy to come on over here and hit me.
Not as little as the other little guy, but close enough.
Okay, could not get that cycle, but that's fine. We'll just have to be behind the box instead of in front of
And that
it.
weird janky stuff you saw is the best way to climb a rope.
And we are going to go teleport up here, and I'm going to switch to keyboard for a little bit now.
Can't be pressing up or down.
Nice. We get a lot of use out of this singular rope storage in this run room.
It's a really hard lineup, just generally.
Yeah.
Not one try.
2 tries.
There we go.
If you press
I don't know
dash,
why that
like
happens.
if you press dash just when you touch those lasers, you just
You just don't.
get iframes and
I'm
go
done
through
with
it.
the keyboard for the rest of the game.
Yep.
No more keyboard, all controller from now on for me.
Yeah. You can just iframes through lasers like that, and we teleport right back to the node, and we go on to fight Xingshan.
Yeah, no, I'm okay not using the save point here. All it would do is heal me a little bit and give me 1 arrow. I am going to be fighting a mini boss in a moment.
This is the last mini boss we fight.
This one is one of my least favorite non-soul bosses in the game. I really hate this guy.
He's better than when
Not
we
the guy
skip.
talking to us right now that I thought was a mosquito the whole time I played the game. He's just an old
Does
cat.
kind of look like one. He's
But
one
the
of
guy
those
that's
cats
in this weird capsule thing that looks like our merchant friend that normally we would have seen by now, but we haven't seen that guy yet.
Yeah.
This is the merchant's brother that is not as enlightened as him.
Yeah. I don't think the merchant
lot
is on
angrier.
screen during this run.
No, Chio has not been on
Not
screen
yet.
yet. We will not see him until after Yan
I don't see him
Lao.
until after we kill his brother.
Yeah. So the whole thing about this fight is that sometimes he will decide to heal. And when he decides to heal, you need to either use a talisman or a charge strike, which you can't do, or a bow shot to make him stop healing. And that's it.
So I don't have a talisman, so I just bow shot him.
He also does this area denial attack constantly, which is mildly
annoying.
irritating.
Yeah, see? Oops, I've killed myself.
Luckily, we get the node right before this.
Yes, we do have the node from right in the beginning, and now I have a 3rd arrow, so he's dramatically easier. I definitely should have walked away and saved when he hit me the first time. Or not saved, healed. But I just needed to not get hit on that exact attack I got hit by, and I would have been good. But,
It happens.
you know, nerves.
Oh, well.
Nerves are a thing.
Oh,
Luckily,
well.
we don't have to rewatch cutscenes in this game, which is very nice of the game because it doesn't let us skip cutscenes, which I hate a whole lot.
Might as
Please
well
red
grab
candle
the
at
XP,
it.
by the way.
That was weird.
Yeah, please red candle out of cutscene skip.
I got like stuck in his attack. But yeah, this guy's just entirely rhythm based. Like, if you get perfect parries, you can hit him a lot. If you don't get perfect parries, you can't hit him as much, and it's quite annoying.
Yeah. The
you just press
music
the-
track for this
but-
guy is named Rhythm Chop, and that's all you're doing during the fight.
And I'm just gonna kill him at... Oh, I don't have a bow! Okay, he's dead anyway. But I thought I had a blow
Too
shot.
close for comfort.
That was way too close. That's half
Yes,
XP.
I got hit because I tried to shoot him and just stood there
Yeah.
like, a not very smart person. Look, we have our little friend over
We're
here
not gonna
again.
talk to
Not
him.
going to bother talking to him. He talks for a long time, so we don't want to talk to
So
him. But he's there. Just felt like I'd show him off, seeing I wasn't losing any time waiting for the elevator
Pretty
anyway.
small, but he talks like he's, I don't know, like 1,000 years old. That's definitely not important.
Oh,
Definitely
yeah,
not.
Definitely not hint towards anything.
yeah.
But yeah, we get a lot of cutscenes with Yanlao, despite me feeling like this character is somehow the least developed character in the game, despite having like the most cutscenes of any character. We have skipped like half of his cutscenes already, but he still has like 2 or 3 more that he's going to have.
Yeah, his personality trait is that he's old, and that's basically it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, he's kind of like an old janitor / auctioneer. I'm not exactly sure what his job is. He like manages this repository, which has a whole bunch of like rich people's stuff in it.
Exactly.
For the rich
Something along
people
those
that
lines.
came onto this ship to escape from the disease that killed everybody, that we haven't really gone
Yeah,
into
we
too
haven't
much yet in
discussed
the
Tianhe
lore.
yet.
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
way.
so I'll explain this area a little bit. So this is the Boundless Repository. It's made of four like mini sections of like a little platforming gauntlet that you need to go through. And
I always call it the gun maze, which will become apparent soon.
yeah, the titular gun of the gun maze has arrived. He shoots you with a gun. So yeah.
You do this weird platforming maze section while this guy keeps trying to shoot you the whole time. Is how
It
this
normally has
section
4
works.
sections,
Normally.
but we have other plans.
Yes, you saw a rope, so I wonder what we're gonna do.
Well, we're not going to be
too.
doing the specific rope storage that's terrible that nobody has done in any run.
Yeah.
Nice, I got the free kill and a free arrow. That's a very rare little thing that can happen where that guy just dies and you get a little fun little bonus arrow.
Yeah, so we were gonna open up the shortcut
Don't shoot me,
actually.
please. Okay.
And get extremely
Cool.
lucky there. You should have gotten it.
Jeez.
Wasn't so much luck as it was.
Normally you time that out so it
Do want to get shot
Yeah.
that time though.
Normally time out so
So
it happens
we-
during the hack though.
So we stored that rope, and now we are going to do a funny little thing here.
Just skip the entire room.
So yeah,
Yeah, we are now in the final room instead of the
And
second
we
to
skip the
last
final room as
room.
well.
all 4 sections of these are on actually the same map, just separated. So that rope that we stored was directly above the final room. And so it goes like top left 1, top right 2, top bottom left 3, bottom right 4. So we stored a rope in the top right room, and then in the bottom right room we warped to that X position. In the bottom left room, we warped to the X position of that rope, and that put us in the bottom right room, which is room 4. So we skipped room 3, basically.
And that gun rope storage is kind of hard, but once you get it, it's a really cool trick to pull off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a little hard to time the shot. It is not the hardest rope storage to time in the game. That's going to go to an enemy later.
And somehow I hit that first try.
Good job. I really hate that guy. I mean, somehow I got the insane trick twice in a row.
Yeah, sure.
That was
That's
crazy.
good luck.
That's a trick that is extremely hard. So
Yeah, so now we're watching
this
the
is
fight on the TV.
what I will consider the last of the easy soul boss fights.
That's the same.
An old man in his claw machine.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
he does have a giant claw machine that he will try to kill us with. It's a weird weapon of choice, but it is what he has chosen to fight us with.
Yeah.
Better than
Presumably
with
it
this.
picks up things and moves them to other places in the repository.
Yeah, and it's called the Skyrending
For
Claw
some reason, it has a giant laser attached to it as well.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah,
really know what they were
not sure how
thinking.
that's
And there's
useful.
also a lot of lasers in this room for some reason.
Don't worry
Yeah.
about it.
This is generally a pretty simple fight. You just parry him / talisman, repeat ad infinitum, and then he dies.
Yeah, you just try to get as many of these talismans off as you can.
He's just giving them to us.
I couldn't really hit him there without dashing into a laser, so I just delayed it
Yeah.
a little bit. You mostly just don't want to get more than 2 talismans because we only can hold 2 talismans. He also has one of only 2 grabs in the entire game.
Honestly. I guess because
I don't know why they gave it to this boss, especially because this is before they even give you the move that is weak to grabs. So it doesn't really have any difference between a normal, I don't know why I dashed into that. It doesn't have any difference between a normal unblockable attack, where any boss past this, it would actually make a difference.
We don't question it. Again, I'll make their choices.
But this boss just for some reason has that, and it just does not matter at all.
Except for the boss rush mode, boss refight mode.
Yeah.
Yes, if you're doing there is like a boss rush mode that you can play where you're like fully upgraded, and there it can matter that you can be grabbed. But that is the only time that grab actually means anything. Otherwise, it is just an unblockable attack. Oh my god, I'm getting hit by the dumb lasers over and over again.
Yeah, this fight can be largely stressful.
It's mostly just stressful because the damage this boss does is a little unreasonable if you have no health.
Yeah, he 2-shots you.
He's easy if you're playing normally, but of course we're not playing normally.
Yeah.
Oh, easy for 9 souls.
Yeah. All of the bosses in this game are quite difficult.
Guess I'll use that bow I have.
Just a little bit of extra damage, and you need to...
There is a funny glitch with his first phase if you can get him to kill himself, where he will skip his scene transition between phase 1 and 2. But it's very hard to actually have happen. You may have also noticed in this game that there are perfect parries and imperfect parries.
And nice.
Perfect parries are when it makes the sound effect. It's like ding, where imperfect parries make more of a dunk sound effect.
Internal damage
and they do like internal damage to me, where if I take an actual hit while I have internal damage, the internal damage will be added onto that hit, and I will take a ton of damage, which will almost always kill me at this point in the game, because I'm never going to be getting any health upgrades because they are locked behind very long cutscenes.
Yeah.
We're coming up on the first break here, I think.
As they require me to save an NPC, which requires a long cutscene. Then they require me to talk to the NPC, collect multiple items for the NPC, talk to the NPC and do a cutscene for each item I give to the NPC, and then another cutscene after I give the items to the NPC to actually get the health. And it's like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
So many cutscenes to get any health. So
True Ending has to do that, but we do not.
True Ending has to do all those cutscenes because having full health is actually a mandatory requirement to getting the true final boss of the game.
Technically all but one on this batch.
Unfortunately, we cannot fight the true final boss in this category, but at least we don't have to watch 40 minutes of talking to a drunk guy. So
yeah,
it's a mixed bag there.
Yeah. I remember because I only ran this category for a while, when I started doing challenge runs on the Battle Memories version of the final boss when it released, I just could not beat it because I was so rusty at phase 3.
Yeah, she is definitely a tricky boss.
Yeah.
We will get to her eventually.
Eventually.
Yeah. And hopefully I won't die to her. I've done a ton of practice with her the last few days just to warm myself back up because it's been a while since I've been running a lot. So I've been trying to run a bit this last week, which is, how much time I had to prepare for this. So trying to get in some playtime. Oh, this is our first ad break, by the way, if you would like to run that then.
Yeah, we're going to take a quick break, chat. So we're going to come back with more 9 souls. The rest of this run is going to continue after this quick little break. So go ahead and get hydrated. And if you are supporting the channel, thank you so much for your ads, subs, or your subs, bits, and watching. Thank you so much for being here. Be back soon. Hello, chat, and we are back with more 9 souls. Go ahead and take it away.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go. And now let's talk to, for some reason, a lot of people's favorite character, Jichuan.
Hey, he has a
I know you
silly
guys
laugh.
like this character more than me. If you want to talk about him, I really dislike this character.
Okay, so Jechuan or G-Chuan or G-Chuan, there's a bunch of ways to pronounce it. I don't know which is correct. But essentially, he is one of the very clearly antagonistic characters in the game. And because of that, he's extremely exaggerated and makes her a funny character for some people and an extremely hated character for others. The lore explanation is that he's the descendant of an empire, a kingdom that fell
Xi
into
Kingdom.
ruin after the Xie Kingdom, yes, that fell into a war, or that fell during the war that we've been
Also, here's
referencing
that
a lot.
merchant whose brother we killed.
After
Although
they
his
like
brother's not
attacked
really dead.
everybody. Yeah, they're not very good people, but some say whatever. We'll get into that lore later. But yeah,
Our first Jade.
our first Jade, yay! He's very prideful. He wants to, I guess, restore the glory of his clan, and he does that
that's-
through trying to murder Yi.
Anyway, here we're going to be doing our first respawn type glitch.
Do you want me to
Wait a
explain
little
what
bit
just
for
happened
the
there?
laser to be done.
So, the reason why that happened is essentially whenever safe ground, we already mentioned it before. For some reason, the edges of platforms are not considered safe ground, I guess just so it's a bit easier for players, which means we can climb onto the ledge, move a bit to the right, and then the dash left, since we animation cancel the dash, it also doesn't set our safe ground. And we're able to pick it up and then jump, which also doesn't reset it, until we're back. And then we just die there instantly. Do you want to explain why
got a
you
good
get one
pattern.
shot
Yes,
there?
that is I also do that to lower my health. In case he does a lower damage attack like that, it still kills me. We go into a really weird acting cutscene. Generally, when characters swap, like, perspective, you have to hold down the button, but for some reason you're allowed to just hold down the button for the vast majority of this cutscene. It's the only cutscene in the game that works like this. It's just a weird little technical thing that happens in this cutscene.
All of them are different.
Side note, we are going to be going into the Metal Gear Solid torture scene reference in a moment.
It's very subtle.
Anyone
Very subtle.
wants to
See if you can notice it.
Yeah, spot the reference.
It is going to be a little graphic.
Yeah, another kind of, not as much, but still gore warning.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, it's
You're just bleeding a little.
Oh, at
You'll
all.
be fine.
Very subtle Metal Gear reference.
yeah. So this whole section of this game is very meant to be Metal Gear referencing, especially because this is going to be the stealth section of the game that is coming up. I will not be using any stealth in this stealth section of the game, but it is meant to be a stealth section
Yeah, but going stealthy
Yeah.
is slow.
as we get tortured by this man for a while here.
Yeah, he has this fun if you are basically just being zapped while he rattles on about how he calls you like sunshine and stuff.
Yeah, he's
I don't know, it's
very
strange.
weird.
Make of that what you will.
Yeah, and he's just mocking us, telling us how he's gonna like kill our friends and stuff to make us mad and stuff.
Yep.
Just being an overall jerk. I really don't like that
Yeah,
guy.
he sucks.
He
That guy sucks.
he's
Yeah.
fun, but like
As our
objectively terrible.
Weird fish butterfly will now save us from this torture device. So we are going to be super heavily nerfed in this section. Oh, fun fact, normally when you get hit, you lose ledge storage, but I actually grabbed ledge storage before I got killed there. And interestingly enough, getting hit and getting killed are not coded the same. So even though I have died, I still have my glitch, and I'm going to just float on
Yeah,
over
another
here.
application of ledge storage called Parry Float, which kind of just extending the ledge climb. It's very similar to bow float, but of course we can do it without bow. Yeah.
So I'm going to try to do the fast version of this. We'll see what
Hopefully
happens.
it works.
If it gets too annoying, I'll do the easy version, but
It's really
I'm
annoying.
generally decent at this
RNG.
version,
Good pattern.
where we are just going to be utilizing
Very
this
nice.
guy to get over this gap first, and then we're going to try to hack while this guy
Back
is
before
trying to kill
elevator skip,
us.
that used to be the hardest skip. Now it's just kind of standard.
Okay, there he is. We want him to do a sword slash here.
Nice.
Perfect.
She did.
Is that good?
And then
Speed
he
hack?
just kind of gives up.
And he's still mad at me.
Yeah. Hasn't given up completely.
Just be ready for that.
Just
Oh, and then he gives up.
there he gives
Don't
up.
think you're safe by being on the
I've
rope.
died
Yeah,
there before.
He can still throw stuff at you, and it will kill you. So now that we've got to this point, we're going to equip our first Jade of the
Finally.
run, and we are going to rest to gain our abilities back. We're still not going to spend any of our million level ups that we have collected throughout the game yet. We will be spending those kind of soon. As we set up our rope storage with these
Yeah.
enemies, we are going to skip over a big boss here,
Hate this guy.
where he is to the left of us, but we are just going to leave using this elevator, which is going to break a few cutscenes in the game, and it's going to break a few other things that are more irritating for
Yeah.
us. Mostly, it's going to remove the cutscene where Lear fixes our ability to fast travel and gives us good fast travel, meaning we will never have fast travel again.
Kind of.
So I think I got it. That is the most annoying ledge storage
That
in
was
the
definitely
game.
close.
Is trying
Ledge
to get
storage.
it off that specific enemy.
Yeah, because those guys, if you have played this game, you know those guys are famously hard to figure out the timing for.
The timing is very weird on these enemies.
Yeah.
They're very, very frustrating.
Chat.
I'm going to be using a bow float to deal with this guy here,
And then we meet.
because I don't want this guy shooting me as I float over here.
Yep.
We're going to talk to
This is
Bradley.
Bradley.
This
We
is
don't like
Bradley. Everybody hates Bradley because he always gets in your way.
Didn't get
He
hit
tries
there.
to beat you up as you try to collect this Dow fruit. Sometimes he can be a huge pain in the butt, but we had a pretty easy time getting past him there. As we move to my favorite tutorial in the game, and by far the most powerful upgrade in this game,
Every
pretty
speedrunner's
much.
favorite.
This is the unbounded counter, which allows us to block unblockable moves while dealing damage to opponents.
That
With
sounds
A pretty awkward input that most people, when playing casually, do not like very much.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where it kind of works the reverse of a normal parry, where instead of clicking the parry when you are hit, you release the parry when you are hit. So you have to hold down the button and then release it as you are hit. You won't actually see me use this ability in the tutorial for the ability, funnily enough. This is the only tutorial where you can get through the whole thing without using the ability in the tutorial. Instead, we're just going to shoot this guy with 3 arrows, which is going to cause him to glitch out and skip the tutorial.
Small correction. This is the only
And
tutorial
just allow
in
us
this
to
run.
leave. Although you will see unbounded counter right after this, as we will have to break a door that requires an unbounded counter to get through. This is also... is this where we level up? No, we level up at the air dash.
Yeah.
So we're almost ready to level up.
Yeah.
But not quite yet, as we are going to be getting a new combat style, which changes our talismans. So the talismans essentially have 3 ways of using them. The default way is that you attach a talisman and it just uses up to 3 key charges that you currently have. It'll always absorb as many as possible and then detonate them, doing a bunch of damage. The other methods are water flow, which is what we're going to be getting, which allows us to attach a talisman that will detonate later by itself, and then full control, which allows you to control how many of the talisman charges you wish to use, which is my personal favorite, but doesn't really get a whole lot of use in any speedrun. It's kind of awkward. The upgrades for it are a little awkward, where water flow has a whole bunch of upgrades I actually want before it, so yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we're upgrading.
If you play this game, if you play this game, you may be confused why we didn't get the cutscene where Chiyu comes and the Chiyu, the merchant guy, comes and saves us there, because skipping the prison boss messes up a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah.
It prevents us from fixing our fast travel, and Chiyu just doesn't save us. So we have.
Yeah, so Chiyu will also not be in our place. The store will be missing a ton of items.
It's fine.
Like a lot of items we can't buy from the store. Plenty of upgrades and jades are hidden from us because this point of the game is where you're supposed to like unlock the rest of the stuff. But we will be getting a few things. This area sucks, by the way. We are going to have to do an unbound counter while we are burning to death. Interestingly, if you dash while on fire, you will only increase the amount of damage you are going to take by being on fire. And also, Jichuan is about to be naked, but you won't see anything. He's kind of a Ken doll in this scene.
Something I did want to mention, because of the cutscene breaking, we've actually known about Kong Hui Skip for basically as long as we've known about rope storage, which was one of the first glitches we actually found. But until we found another glitch, which you'll see put to use sometime soon, we just had no use for it because we couldn't teleport.
Soon.
Not overly soon, towards the end, but still.
Yeah,
and also
Kong Hui Skip because.
Let's say also for Charge Strike, the bow also works in that one. It's just that UC is the only time we get to see the bow put to use in the Limitless Realm.
Also, this split is going to be the hardest split in the run. Like, it's not like the hardest tricks or the hardest boss or anything, but the split itself is just very difficult. As you often just take a lot of damage optimizing this zone, and you're just not allowed to use any save points for a very long period of time if you want to be optimal. So we end up taking a lot of damage, and then we end up having to fight a boss with very low, basically everything. As a side note, does anyone remember if I actually equipped Water Flow?
You did.
I don't recall.
I
do not recall you doing that.
To switch it, yes. You're good.
I definitely leveled it. I just don't remember if I actually swapped.
You did swap, you're good, yeah.
I did swap?
I'm pretty sure, unless you swap back.
Okay. Okay, cool. I hit that skip. That is another parry float into a vault, which allows us to not get lit on fire and still make that cycle, which saves a whole lot of time. So we're actually going into this boss with way more HP than I'm used to.
Yeah, this is very high.
Yeah, this is...
Yeah, I'm actually full health, and I have a heal, and I still have my revive. Normally I'm going into here with no heals and half health. So this is pretty much like 5 times more health than I'm used to being in here with.
So
this is also a little bit of an RNG fight in that it can soft lock me. Anyone wants to talk about the unfortunate
about to be
possible soft lock?
So there it is.
Yeah, there's
Let's
some
wait till the end of the cutscene. So essentially, one of the reasons we had to, well, not that we had to, but one of the things that we can use the upgraded bow for here.
We've gotten good enough at not needing
it's not
upgrade for
necessary.
that, but...
So essentially, in his first phase, Jeshuan will occasionally try to heal. And when he heals, he puts up a shield.
He's gonna do it right now, in fact.
Yep. And this shield, if he finishes the animation, it requires him being a move that would stagger him to be able to break it. So that's usually Charge Strike.
Do it again?
But normally it is, normally it's Charge Strike, but we can use bow to do it instead. However, we can also just use bow to cancel the animation early, which will do the same thing of him not putting it up, and we get the extra damage.
And now we're safe from
But that's only in phase 1.
disaster.
So.
As he does not have the shield move in phase 2.
It's also just a really cool fight because it gets to show off Unbound Encounter a lot, which we'll be using throughout the whole run, and I just like Jeshuan.
Yeah, we're going to be using Unbound Counter a whole lot in general.
It is the sauce, so we will be using it for every fight, and it is the coolest thing ever, and this is not a debatable topic.
Exactly.
It's like so satisfying to watch work too, because all of the animations in this game are so clean and beautiful, and just like have a lot of weight to them.
Oops.
So it's very cool to watch.
Well, thank God for revival.
Okay, that was cool.
Thanks, Revive.
No counting for
You do have very few
Anyway, get
iframes
out
in
of
this game, so being wombo comboed is completely a possibility.
Yeah, getting knocked into that fire is really scary.
Yeah.
I was a little afraid I was just dead because even through revival.
Yeah.
He can definitely just combo you into death in like one combo if, for example, he hits you with like charged spear into the fire into his jumping spear while you're respawning, which then knocks you into the fire again and then kills you before you even get the health back from the Revival Jade. Because for some reason the Revival Jade works in a way that it actually needs to get to you to heal you. And it's kind of slow at it, so a lot of the times the enemies could kill you before the health even heals you back up, which is very frustrating. Most frustrating way of seeing that happen is falling into a pit and watching the health follow you and knowing that the speed the health follows you at is not faster than your fall speed. So you're just like, I'm definitely dying to fall damage, even though I shouldn't.
Thank you, Red Candle Games.
I hate you sometimes, Revival Jade.
Yeah, but it is useful. And allows the glitch.
Luckily, Revival Jade actually has a reason to be in this run, and we actually don't want to remove it from the run, unlike maybe No Major Glitches, which should probably have it removed for optimization reasons. We actually do need 2 Jades to cause a specific glitch later. And Revival Jade just happens to be one of the 2 easiest Jades to collect in the game. So that's why we have it. It's not even because it's a good Jade, it's just because it's fast to pick it up. It's on a direct path, and we just have to talk to some random guy who talks to us for a little bit of time.
Yeah, it's quite nice.
He doesn't talk that long, he doesn't ask us any questions, so it just goes at a nice, reasonable pace. The other Jade we normally pick up is going to be Stasis Jade. You may have noticed we haven't picked that up yet, despite it being the first Jade that you get to see in the game, as it was the one that Bai Chang dropped at the beginning of the game. But we are going to be walking through 8-Man in a quick moment here, as we do now need to go back to the pavilion to talk to Rui about the weird thing that's happening. Do not touch that save. I almost did that. We touched this weird Death Star thing, and that will break our soft save, and now we will be able to reload at the last save point we used, which was down at Air Dash, which is the closest save we're allowed to use towards Pavilion. So that's why we're not allowed to do any saves during that split, is because we need to go back down here, because this is just the fastest way to get here. And this is us going through this section in the direction you were supposed to actually go through this section now, as we did kind of cheat our way through this section backwards by using slightly higher jumps than we were supposed to be able to use, by using a weird high jump, rope cancel, and using air slashes to gain very slight amount of air momentum to jump over some spikes. But now we will have a very easy time going through that section because we're actually intended to go through the section at this point.
Funny how easy it is backwards, or well, backwards for the run.
Yeah, we're now going forwards. If you had done Kang Hui, you would not have to do this. You would just teleport back to Pavilion from the Jichuan node, and everything is a lot safer because you're just allowed to save in front of Jichuan. But because we did not kill Kang Hui, because we wanted to skip a whole bunch of cutscenes, we have to do it this way, which forces us to run through these sections again. Which is also where I'm going to end up picking the Stasis Jade up at the end of this room. This room, I feel, can probably use a little bit more optimization than it currently has. As a side note, I should immediately switch back to Ki Blast while I'm thinking about it, as the next area we really need to have Ki Blast as our ability and not Water Flow. The reason for this is because Water Flow takes up twice as much ki to use, and we want to be using our talismans as a jumping thing. So there
we
is
need them for
our-
distance.
What?
Yeah.
Need them for distance.
We're
coming
going
up
to
on
be
a
using them
platforming
as a
section.
second air dash. And we want to use as many of them as possible, so we need our talismans to cost the normal amount, so we have more uses of them. Otherwise, we only get one talisman because they are too expensive on Water Flow, and we just do not have the key to sustain it. Unless we had enhanced Water Flow, which we will eventually collect, but for now we're just going to be playing through the game using our normal Ki Blast again. Also, the normal Ki Blast is just straight up better for this next boss as well. We are going to be using this real quick. We are going to grab Enhanced Talisman and one more key. We want to have this node save so that our next save quit we do will take us back directly to Pavilion, because after this next boss area, we have to go right back to Pavilion.
Okay.
I am going to do something a little weird here. I'm going to actually grab a ledge storage. This is the only ledge anywhere near here. So we're just going to go collect that off to the side of Ruyi. And we are going to make our way into the next zone, which is kind of like the weird, trippy horror zone, where Lady Ethereal will be, which casually when I played this game was my favorite boss. I really like Lady Ethereal. I'm a big fan of Sisters of Battle from Hollow Knight, and this is just like a different take on that boss, and it's a really good one. I absolutely love this boss, and I am excited to fight them, even if they do have a chance of randomly one-shotting me and making me very sad, because they are a pretty long boss fight if that happens. But
I'll be fine. Yeah, we did have to talk to Ruyi to trigger this area in the first place.
yeah,
because
unfortunately, you do have to talk to
detect
Ruyi
it.
there. It will not just let you go to this section if you do. Oh, I have to hack
You gotta
this.
hack it.
If you do not talk to Ruyi first, this room will just give you a jump scare. But if you've talked to Ruyi first, it'll be this weird, like, funeral arrangement. Like, it's like a Taiwanese funeral, from what I've been told.
Yeah.
Which
That is correct.
might be leading into a lot of the things we are going to see in this area as this area starts getting more and more messed up. You will also notice that if you've played the current version of this section is going to be a lot faster, because they added, at some point, I don't know when it was, but they added a bunch of cutscenes to this section to make it less subtle. But back on the patch we're using, those cutscenes did not exist. So we just have to talk to Lady
They
Ethereal.
also added optimization.
We are going to try to skip as much talking to Lady Ethereal as possible by using ledge storage here, as we slide up this invisible wall and just jump on past her. I wait for the platforms to spawn here, and we start moving forward. Unfortunately, if you do use the glitch to slide up that wall, it does make it so you really can't see anything for a little bit, because it's expecting you to, you know, take a bath with Lady Ethereal, and I'm not doing that, so there will be no Yi butt on this stream, only Jichuan butt.
Yep.
will
One of
be
the
seen.
set loading spots for this area, because they did not optimize it on launch, and also not for a
Whoopsie.
while after.
Forgot where the floor was. So this area has this weird mechanic where these candles are like checkpoints, and if you fall, you will like just fall into space for a while and then land on the last candle checkpoint section. Thank God I had enough time for that. I used the talisman because I was really unsure where the ground was, and I just really didn't want to fall again. So here we can do a little small time save. Never mind, because I got hit by that ball. I mean, we'll still be able to do that time save. What I was trying to show was if you do this, you can do that, and then you can skip a cycle. But getting hit by the ball is a little bit sad. Luckily, that ball is so early that it is really a small time loss. Unlike some of the larger time losses you can have if something like that happens at the end of one of these sections. You may also notice that you cannot see the HUD here, which may give you the false impression that you cannot
But we
die
do
in
have the
this
low
section.
HP vignette.
I assure you, you can.
Yeah.
You can die in this section.
And you can see the
So your health does exist. The game just does not
you
show
can
it
see
to you.
the low health effect around the screen right now.
Yeah, you do still have the low health effect, so you can see when you are low, which I currently am. So I probably will end up dying in this section at some point, although it will probably just proc Revival Jade, as I do still have Revival Jade in this section as well, as we run past this little cycle right here. There are a few tricks that are coming up pretty shortly. This is probably one of my favorite tricks in this section. It looks really cool, and it does not actually save a whole lot of time.
stylish.
Oh, wow.
That is pretty stylish.
Sure
It
is.
saves like
But
3
It
seconds.
skips over. You also really don't want to screw up at this point because it did skip over a checkpoint, so you lose a ton of time
And
at
we're
this
forced
point
to
if you
actually
mess
look
up.
at lore now.
But there is the next checkpoint, so we're
You
safe
can
now.
see the
You don't actually.
you can see the game very obviously load in the next segment of this area every single time because it will freeze significantly.
We're going to once again float over the invisible wall instead of talking to Lady Ethereal, which saves about 17-second cutscene right here. So we do not wish to talk to her. She talks for a decent amount of time. That is the... if you mess up any of those wall slides, that's definitely the one to mess up because she does talk the least on that specific cutscene. Oh, this is another fun one. This one is less cool, but saves a lot more time than the last one,
Yeah.
where you just skip over a little platforming section. Here's probably where I'm going to die. I actually... yep, there it is. I'm pretty good at getting hit there, so I was expecting to lose my revival jade there. We're going to make a big jump so we don't have to kill this enemy. So earlier when I talked to those weird memory panels, I also didn't actually have to do that, but the jump is really hard. Here is a mini boss. We are going to not do this mini boss. I hate this mini boss a lot. We're just going to glitch over the top of him to not make him spawn, and then we're going to float
Luckily, we're not
over
an MG, so we can do the
here
easy skip.
and be past this horrible boss that I hate so much. He is very irritating. There's a lot of ways to cheese him, but I just don't want to fight him in the first place.
A bit of, yeah.
So I'm going to grab one last ledge storage. This is the most important of the 3, as this prevents me from having to beat up Lady Ethereal, which requires multiple cutscenes.
This whole area.
And I did hit it a little bit slow, but I'll accept it. I just don't want to have to beat up Lady Ethereal.
This whole area is basically her like guilt filled.
Her vital
her
sanctum.
guilt filled like dream space.
Yeah.
Basically.
And I forgot what I was doing here, so I'm going to fall off the
So
ledge.
this is also an auto scroller.
I can actually skip this first section.
Speedrunners, of course.
So you go over here and you do a bow float, and you can just float on to the next area. And once you touch the candles off screen, you can respawn yourself to get past that first auto scroller section, so you don't have to do it. We can skip like half of these auto scrollers, and the other half we have to deal with, like this one. We have to do. You need to be a little careful here, as you definitely can outrun the auto scroller and then fall in a pit, and you will feel very silly. It is not great, because then you just have to do it again. Normally, I will still save and quit because it restores everything, and I do actually want my arrows and stuff back. So when you were playing for the normal speedrunning category, we don't count loads, so it's actually faster to just quit the game here instead of waiting for that fish to catch up. But if you aren't doing loads, it's a little faster in real time just to fall off the pit to respawn the fish at the checkpoint. This is one of the unfortunate ones that we actually have to do. If you want, you can just kind of balance on those eyeballs forever instead of following the fish, but it isn't going to save you any time because the fish just goes in a big circle anyway, and you have to wait for the fish to finish the circle to continue. So it's pretty irrelevant whether you follow the fish or just bounce on the eyeballs.
This is the only one we have to follow the
As
entire
we are
time.
getting close to one of the jankier looking tricks here. Oops.
I think you still
So
make
what
it.
I have to do is I have to touch this candle, fall off, and then immediately do a bow float. And then we will float through this section to the next checkpoint
So the reason that works...
instead of using our auto scroller fish.
Yeah. The reason that works is because...
And then here we will start using our air dash and
You can also just skip this.
talismans to just not even get the fish. We just don't even want it right now. I need a few more key. This guy's being a little weird. I don't know why it didn't let me get the second jump off of him. But we are just going to glitch on past here. And now we need the fish for the last auto scroller. So we're going to fall off. The respawn box is closer this time, so it's actually faster to fall off the ledge instead of save quitting this time. It used to be faster to fall off the ledge on the old one too, but due to some changes in live split, it eventually changed whether it was faster to save quit versus fall. And also save quitting gives you like all of your revive jades and your bow and all that other stuff back, which helps other things. Right here, we're gonna do the last trick of this section.
And you hit it. Nice.
As we glitch on up here and get into this final area where we see the end of these memories, where some horrible things happen to the science team.
Yeah.
Let's not worry about that.
The gist of it is, if you haven't played the game, of course, basically she's making this system, which is the Soulscape system, because all of the Solarians need to like sleep for like 500 years.
Yeah, it's a cryogenic virtual reality system.
Just so they don't go brain dead in that time. But the issue is that the simulation is too perfect, and when they wake up, they do not want to live in actual reality anymore. Also, you have Five Nights at Freddy's here.
Yeah.
That's like me after
She's
finishing
gonna
a
freak out a
GDQ
little bit.
room.
We're gonna get crushed by Big Lady.
Yeah. So, and now you get to see what's actually in this room, which is, this is where all the 8-man brains were going.
And also her
And
brain.
her brain. Yeah.
And her brain.
This is all that's left
Which
of her.
is strangely large. I'm not quite sure how large it is. We see how tall she is in relation
She's
to
a pretty
Yi.
big lady, and Solarians are
But-
presumably very smart, so they must just have very big brains.
Guess so.
But it being
Relatively
bigger
large
than
spines, honestly. But
but it being bigger
Yeah.
than her skull is quite interesting.
I don't know. We don't question it.
would you guys like to explain the butterfly myth and everything that's happening at this point in the game?
Okay, so
that's what she is
the
based on.
whole, yeah, the whole like thematic and visual inspiration for this area, which it is the parable of the it's the butterfly something. Basically a man dreams that he is a butterfly, but then his question is he a man dreaming that he is a butterfly, or is he a butterfly that is dreaming that he is a man? And the dialogue in this section is all about like what is reality, and is the dreamscape, does the dreamscape count as reality, etc., etc. So that's the thematic inspiration for a lot of this. Also in the background, that is the back of her head.
Yeah. And we'll
Just-
see in a second.
If before any questions are asked, that is
As
the
it
back of
starts
her
to
head.
get weird and gross and start cocooning into a butterfly.
Yes. And this fight is interesting because she, in phases 2 and 3, she uses clones that are not the real her in order to attack you. You, of course, cannot deal damage to her from these clones, except if you use the unbounded counter on their melee attacks. Because for some reason, if you unbound counter their melee attacks, it still deals internal damage to the boss.
Ooh, fast ranged phases.
Yeah, you are getting super lucky. You do not want ranged phases here because you can't deal internal damage to the boss. You can only deal damage with unbounded counter on the melee phases.
Also,
So you
yes, I
want-
know that one was real, but normally she was supposed to respawn again. But maybe I miscounted. Either way, I think she's still dead
Yeah.
here. Yep, good. Okay, she actually
nice.
is the only boss in this game with 3 phases, unless you have true ending.
Well, Conquest has 3 phases.
Now we get to do the fun 7 Lady Ethereal's time.
Yeah. Conveniently, in this phase, she always reveals which one is real. Also, wait, what? Did she...
Yeah, I no longer have to
Why didn't she
guess,
start with the ball?
where she is.
I swear...
Yeah, she doesn't.
She does not always start with ball.
Huh. Could have sworn she did. Oh, there it
The
is.
very not subtle Dragon Ball reference. I'm sorry you hit
You
that.
seriously went for the UC on that? Damn.
Yeah, you don't usually
Dang.
go for that.
Yeah, I know how to do it.
All right.
I thought that was unreasonably difficult.
This is unreasonable difficult to get the double UC on those. Another ball.
Actually, yeah, that doesn't look that
All
bad.
mayhaps.
I guess.
I suppose.
All right, that was a very
Now
good
we
lane.
have a lot of cutscenes, so
Yep.
Yeah, this is, we're gonna go through a bunch of cutscenes here.
And also, big gore warning, too.
yeah.
Big.
Yeah, but that's It's gonna be, but it's not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
First, we got to talk to Lady Ethereal for a bit.
Should we talk about the jank then?
Not until we go into the next cutscene is it going to be a gore warning. Right now, we're just talking to Lady E.
Yeah, while we're here, also, I feel like at least some people want me to mention the previous memory is even more sad when you consider that it's actually Lady Ethereal's girlfriend who's trying to kill her after she wakes up.
Yes, that
Yeah.
was
That was confirmed
what's her
by the
name?
devs.
Zhao He?
Zhao
Zhao.
or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, she is seen in the background a lot. You see the like funeral pictures of her in the zone when you're in the real version of the zone, when you have the black aura around you. And then you see her choking out Lady Ethereal in that one cutscene.
Yeah.
This is where we are going to end up with the gore warning.
Yep.
It's pretty large amount of gore here, so
All right, but yeah,
Yes, look
it
away
is
if you're
definitely
not
a warning.
it's we got an explosion here again. But yeah, Sherplung, we were talking about discussing some jank here. So should we start with the reason
Oh, yeah.
behind
Talk
it?
about the weirdness of the frame rates in this game and how
Oh.
frame rates used to be separated in categories for this.
Yeah, so basically this all stems from so Nine Souls made in Unity, and Unity has a built-in delta time for time between frames. But instead of using that, Red Candle uses something internally named as time.rcg time.
Also, gore warning right now, by the
Yeah,
way.
gore warning right now. And that means that we have differences based on frame rate. So for a while, speedrun categories were actually split based on frame rate until we decided that the time loss and time saved was close enough that we just kept it. But it has a lot of weird interactions if you want to explain some of them, Sherplung.
Yeah, so for instance, you jump slightly higher on lower FPS, and you dash slightly farther on lower FPS. But because your jumps are higher, like the jump dash tech that we do for most of the run after we get air dash, that is slower on lower FPS a bit.
Very small.
It's very slightly slower on lower FPS.
and
So that's
yeah.
why it was split until we realized that the lower jumps on higher FPS actually make something more difficult, and it balances out, and generally nobody cared enough for it to be split. So
Yeah.
now everything is run on any FPS as long as it's above 50.
because
below
50
50
Save
you
quick
start
here
getting
to get back to Pavilion.
below 50 you start getting actually very strange stuff happening, and that's kind of not good.
That's apparently very glitchy. I've only had that happen one time to me, which did ruin a run, which was very sad, where it just started running at like 35 FPS in the fire zone. But it's very noticeable how much it slows cutscenes down.
Yeah, which we actually didn't know the exact difference until we got task tools, which is the same time we figured out that the the jump dash parry you see, or swag dash, as it used to be called, because we used to think it was just for swag, turns out to be very slightly faster.
So I want to talk about a few things here. This is the last upgrade we're going to get in the run. This is the double jump. I also figured out yesterday you can actually make this without grabbing ledge there, but it's like insanely hard. I tried for so long and I only got it one time, and it was so specific and difficult. But you actually can jump that ledge without catching the ledge there if you want to save a few frames. But it's like incredibly non-practical because it's like, sorry, I'm saying like too much. You have to do a jump slash into a like max height double jump into another slash and then like catch the ledge, because you have to do the slash early enough that if you do a slash, you can't grab ledge after slashing, so you have to do the slash early enough that you can still grab ledge. It's very difficult and frustrating and not worth it at all, but I did figure out it was possible the other day when practicing.
Also, we have double
Thought
jump
it was
now.
Yeah,
interesting.
we have double jump now.
Yes, we can double jump now, which we're going to actually use to mostly just triple jump, really.
Yeah.
You're not going to see very many actual double jumps. We're going to mostly be using ledge storage to get 3 to 4 jumps.
Just
We're
three.
going to be using to break most of the remaining areas to get to the final few bosses very quickly, as we are almost to the last third of this section, as we want to talk to this last Lear cutscene. There are other Lear cutscenes, but we won't be seeing them. This is going to be the last Lear cutscene we're going to see. The other Lear cutscenes require you to be doing the true ending and doing a whole bunch of extra content. If you want to talk to Lear more, where he talks about the rhizomatic bomb and all of that other stuff that happened, where, you know,
Yeah.
all of the war and the inaction declaration and all of that fun stuff.
He's like
We're gonna take a break
religion
here, right?
Oppenheimer.
As a side note, this is the second ad break right here.
All right. So, chat, we are going to be going to a quick little break. Now, if you are excited about this run and want to see more things like this, you can catch up on past Hotfix shows, special events, and GDQ marathons over at youtube.com/gamesdonequick, including when we showed this as off as any percent in the past. So, yeah, go ahead and pull up that YouTube for use after the stream is done. See y'all back here soon. All right, let's finish up this 9 Souls run. Yay!
Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so at this point, we are going to be doing the glitchiest glitch in our run.
I still don't know how this works.
You can immediately see us starting to mess with the menus here. You're going to see some weird looking things happening. As we are essentially breaking our menus to allow us to use our fast travel that we should not have, because the game did not ever give it back to us. So from now on, we will be utilizing this, what is called teleport menu storage, to allow us to teleport. But I have to be very careful with the pause menu from now on, as doing almost anything in the pause menu will break it. And I will need to use the pause menu a few times, unfortunately, when I don't want to break it. Luckily, we do have a very good backup save in case something horrible happens, as I glitch through that laser here. And we're going to see how we start manipulating our double jump to go way too high very often.
Casual edge sword shenanigans, you know.
Yeah, we're going to be taking extremely high jumps that we should not be able to make.
And these are also
To
two bosses
make
you
our
can do
way
in
up
either
this
order.
tower without having to do any of the puzzles. We open our way up to the top. This is a section when I played through this game casually that I just could not figure out how to even get to. I remember always being on the other side of that door being like, how the heck do you get down there? It took me so long to find that area. We're going to be running through Imperium and making our way to Grotto, where we will be fighting our next boss. And Grotto is a very unfun section for all speedrunning categories.
I enjoy this after I
every
learn the
single
tech.
speedrunning category, no matter which one it is, has a very miserable section in Grotto, which is where we are currently going. So we'll see if we can have a nice, calm Grotto that just works well and doesn't hate me.
This is the most
Grab some
annoying
key
rope
that we
storage
will
in the
need in
game.
Grotto. So here is a save point I am going to use to grab our enhanced water flow that we are going to need.
Yeah. We mentioned earlier how
You may see our menu is a little not great right now.
Yeah.
we mentioned all the way when we introduced rope storage how if you touch another rope while you have rope storage, you lose rope storage. So you cannot touch another rope. That will become very
Yes, it is
obviously
why
relevant.
this next trick is irritating, because I'm going to have to get rope storage and then maneuver under a bunch of ropes but above a bunch of spikes,
It's annoying.
which will be very fun. Luckily, this category has the easiest version of Grotto, but it's still not a very fun section. So
Yeah, we
It
don't
still
have to
sucks.
use respawn save.
let's get this guy over here to get our rope storage. Okay, he attacked me from a very awkward angle. There we go.
That's good. I still don't know why you do the
And
dash
that
there. It
should
just makes
be
it less
past the
consistent.
ropes.
Yep.
And then we're going to grab a ledge storage in addition, and we're going to use that to triple jump up here, and then use our rope storage to get over to this zone. We're going to fall down to grab one of the only jades that we actually want for its ability.
Best jade in the game.
The Divine Hand Jade, one of the strongest jades in the game. Glitch ourselves into the wall to respawn up top. I'm actually going to take this slightly safer path. It's like 1 second slower because I'm tired of glitching into a wall every time I try to take the harder path. And we are going to open a little safety save here in case things go wrong, because a whole lot of things can go wrong at this part of the game. Both the boss fight can go wrong, which I'm not actually very worried about, and then a skip after the boss fight, which I'm far more worried about, can go wrong, which is called minor skip. But instead of going to this left here, we're just going to open it early, because if we open it early and then we mess up and we reload, that bridge will already be done and we won't have to respawn it and watch that cutscene again. Instead, we will be going to this boss. This is the main boss that you can't really utilize unbounded counters on, which makes this boss have a massive amount of HP, which isn't helped by the fact that this boss actually does just have the most HP in the entire game. I don't know why. I think it's because they originally wanted a phase 3 for this boss and it got cut. So they just were like, you know what? How about his phase 2 just has 80 million HP? And so he has a lot of health. Does anyone else want to talk about G? Many people's favorite character in this game.
Yeah.
I guess.
Of the immortal Kunlun tribe.
Yeah. So G is... You saw the animation. G is the same character that gave us the music sheet earlier. And
oh my God.
He is like, and yes, it is a he. This is something that many people
that was
get.
A weird parry.
This is something that many people get wrong.
Yes, I did not think this was a man until he started using pronouns that made him a man.
Yeah, the voice
like,
actor.
oh.
The voice actor is female, so it's very so it's very easy to get that wrong. But yeah, basically he is immortal in the ageless sense, not in the unkillable sense, because we are about to prove that he is not
also,
unkillable.
Also, a fun glitch you can do.
Also, yeah, he just kind of sits here while you wail on him. It's very silly.
Since we have the annoying second phase, do we want to talk about some other cut content?
All right, time for second phase.
Oh yeah, this guy in early development was planned to have a phase 3, but that was cut at some point, I believe due to like time and budget concerns.
Yeah. They cut a bunch of other stuff as well, including some storylines for characters that we do get to see, but don't get to see their complete.
Like Chen.
Well, Xian's storyline was outside of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, she has a whole prelude comic that you can read that's very cute and makes what happens to her very sad.
Yeah. And then there's also, I believe Kong Hui had more to his storyline. And there's also a cut fight where we instead see a cutscene later in the game, which I think we'll mention when we get to it.
Yeah. You'll notice the knives in this fight. They are the way they move in a very strange way, but that's because they are coded by some black magic to actually have consistent parry timing. How they did it, I have absolutely no idea, but by some magic, the projectiles have consistent parry timing no matter, like, within the general range of where you will be. So that's why they move in funky ways most of the time.
That was an extremely clean G, by the way.
That should be the end of this fight.
Also, dang, that was pretty good.
That was very good.
The first phase was not optimal.
Second phase
the second
great.
phase was pretty much as good as that could have gone. I don't know what was happening in the first phase. I just like missed the first like 3 talismans on him. I was like, what's happening? His timing is so weird compared to what I'm used to. But his second phase, I don't believe I missed anything while fighting it.
Yeah, no notes on
I
the
hit him
second
pretty
phase.
much any time he was hittable.
Also, random
which
fun
is
fact.
good. You just want to wail on that guy as much as possible. You can't get as much damage as you can on other bosses because we spec our entire build tree into doing damage off unbound countering people. And he's basically not unbound counterable, as he throws projectiles for 95% of his attacks. But yes, that is you see him through history, seeing the death of Jituan and Lear going into the Fusang, talking with your mentor Aegong to try to make the immortality serum. And then finally, the only one of these that actually comes true, as most of these are like broken dreams at the end. But his dream was for you to kill him, and it has come to pass.
Yep.
Yeah.
On the manga cutscene before you fight him, all of the Solarian script in the game can actually be translated directly to traditional Chinese through I believe it's the Kongji input system, where you map I'm not sure how it works, but I don't speak that language, but you can translate all the Solarian text in the game, and you can see what he's writing in the manga cutscene at the start of it. And he's writing buried here, which we believe is him writing about how he is going to die in the fight that's about to happen, which is really cool.
He also attempts to trick you by telling you you're going to kill him until you end up, telling he tells you that he's going to kill you until you kill him, and then he reveals that he had been lying to you so that you would try to kill him harder, so that he would actually get to die finally.
Yeah. Also, you just take his hair for some reason.
Yes, I do need that.
You have to do it, but
We don't know why
at this point in the game, you have no reason to take the hair.
Without context, but there is a reason we do need that hair.
I believe that technically you're supposed to do the boss we're going to do next first. However, most people find G first anyway, and then the hair doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I fought the other boss first.
I did not.
I fought G first in my first playthrough.
And not G.
So you'll notice we're not safe ground.
So we're trying very hard to make sure that we don't ever give the game a place I can spawn.
That was very clean, by the way.
Because I'm trying to get rope storage here, but I want my spawn point. Oh.
Rip.
See, this is why we made the backup save.
That's unfortunate. That's another one of the hardest skips in the game. That was super clean up until that point.
Yeah.
It sure was.
You have to maintain your spawn position at the very top for the entire thing, then get rope storage.
I
fall
just
into the
hit
pit.
dash for no reason. I don't even know why I hit it.
Yeah,
My brain
that's
just
not a
turned off.
static rope storage.
Yeah, I did static rope storage instead of normal rope storage, and that was incorrect.
Yeah,
But I did do the rest of the
We
trick
should probably
correctly,
explain
so
the
we'll just quickly go
difference.
through that again. We'll just
that's
have
the
to
20
use the
minutes till
backup
midnight
save
gets you.
instead of the teleport menu storage at the end.
Yeah.
But that is exactly
Unfortunate.
why that
What
save
it's for.
exists, because otherwise you lose
Exactly.
a massive amount of time.
And that massive amount of time is why Concrete Skip was not a thing until teleport menu storage was found, because that specific run back would lose you an abhorrent amount of time and would not make it viable at all.
Now that I think about it, I could have actually just gotten myself killed instead of doing what I did, and it wouldn't have broken everything, but it's too
That's
late
fine.
now because I've already done it.
It makes
well.
no difference in actually showing the run.
Yeah. You're gonna see the exact same thing, except you will not see my menu being broken. I will still use teleport menu storage more times later, so it's not like you won't get to see it. That's all I had to do. I just had to not hit the dash.
Oh, you touched the ground there.
Wait. I touched the ground,
Unfortunate.
apparently. See, that is the way you can mess it up. If you touch the ground anywhere that isn't a corner, you will set a spawn point, and you need your spawn point to be at the very top of this section so that you can bring your rope storage all the way to the top, and then you can use the rope storage to line up with the rope that's all the way at the bottom.
I still
This
don't know how we
is
found
one of the
this.
hardest tricks in the game for sure. It's in most categories as well, which is brutal. This is actually in almost all categories this skip is used. It's actually pretty funny. I think maybe only No Major Glitches doesn't use this skip
I think everything besides
obvious
NMG,
reasons.
yeah.
because it's banned in No Major Glitches because it's a major glitch.
Can't use the rope storage. The respawn manipulation is completely A-OK in NMG though.
But yeah, I just hit my
Why?
double
We
jump
don't
too
know.
slowly. There's also a slightly faster way you can do this laser section, but it's a horrible nightmare. You have to do that like weird laser glitch thing that I was doing earlier, where you get hit by the laser at the same time you dash. Okay, so we got to bring this guy into this corner. Oh, he might push me. Oh, no.
I think that's
okay, good.
It's nice.
Nice.
There we go.
And yeah, okay. I didn't teleport the first time I pressed it for some reason. But this is how we get past that wall, and then we're going to have to do another glitch here.
Heal.
Dog, could you not, like, kill me? A little too far away.
Good.
Perfect.
And we use that to glitch into this acid and then climb into the elevator while it just continuously hits
Don't worry
us.
about it. You're just fine.
So we don't have to turn off the acid. As we would have to go a very long way around to turn off the acid and fight a mini-boss.
Talk to Rui.
Yep, he's just talking to him because apparently there's surprisingly few guards here, and well, I suppose that is true. We're not going to see many of them.
Yeah, we're gonna
'cause
see like a few of these samurai that hate when you touch grass.
they're
Yeah.
protective
Very
of the garden.
against it.
We don't know why. Also, Hubert's coming up. If anybody has watched the 9%
Yeah.
run and remembers
Right,
him.
I actually made that jump in one. I had been struggling with that jump a lot, so I'm happy to make that jump. It's relatively tricky. It's not that hard, but it's just kind of a little janky to make that like quadra jump to get all the way up here and not have to go all the way around. Because normally you would go all the way around and you'd like ride this, like you'd come in through this right side from a different elevator, and then you'd ride this elevator up.
Yep.
If we didn't have to collect all of the soul seals when we get up here, we would actually go somewhere else
Hi,
and then
Hubert.
just jump
Yeah, hi,
over
Hubert.
this building. But we do have to collect all the soul seals, so we are going to just go into this little building here. We have these weird Solarian mutants that currently I cannot kill in the game. I can only knock them down, and they'll be paralyzed for a few seconds before they get back up and try to kill me. As we go through Fushi's memories here. So you can see Fushi and his twin sister Nua. These are very famous mythological creatures, especially Fushi.
Yeah,
It's like one of the most important Chinese gods generally.
Yeah, I think the pair of them, they are creation deities from what I remember, and they
Yes.
I believe so,
invented
yes.
a lot of things like people.
Yeah, they
Yes.
invent. They pretty much made like people. They made like a lot of musical instruments and other sorts of things. They're very famous. Fushi is generally supposed to be Gomeng's boss in mythology, who is also still a bird person, although not a weird cat lady. Normally just a bird man that works for Fushi. As Fushi and Nua are also both normally serpentine deities, which is why they're going to have a whole lot of weird snake imagery around them. We're going to see a lot of snakes
Yep.
throughout this zone. This is a weird phone call. For some reason, you can still move in it, and you can't hold down the button early like every other phone call. So I just have to wait for Nua to call me a thief, say she doesn't really care that I'm taking the soul seals. She just wants to be left alone to her weird party that she keeps having that we do not approve of, but, you know, we're just going to go over there and talk to her because we need her seal as well, not just her brother's. So we need to go find her, as we are going to get another hang cutscene here.
Yep. I think
Yeah.
now
Using
is
my
a
9
good.
souls?
No
Yes,
way.
there are a lot of
Impossible.
cutscenes in this game that are unfortunately unskippable. We are
Yep.
working on a mod to skip through these, but it's not super stable, so I did not want to mess with it in here. I wanted to just have the vanilla experience of running the game, although I am on like the speedrun patch, so you would have to down patch for the experience, I suppose.
Something like that.
But that's not very hard to do. You just have to like look up how to down patch, and you'll find like a little code, and you just input it into the like Steam beta thing. And that's like all you have to do. It's one of the easiest games to down patch I've ever seen for speedrunning, so that's really cool.
They gave us a beta.
I don't know why they won't just give us a cutscene skip though.
Good question. I think
Oh,
with
wow.
all the Fushi and Nua stuff, now is a good time to mention lore-wise. The reason the game references Chinese mythology so much is because canonically, as was shown in the ARG that happened recently, Chinese mythology is based off the story of Nine Souls.
Yeah, they kind of reversed the inspiration, which I think is really neat and awesome.
Of course, we won't get to see why that's true because we're not doing true endings, so we'll be stuck here on New Kunlun and then eventually go back to Pangai.
I thought I didn't grab the ledge, so I got scared.
We never really explained the names of places, did we?
The what?
The
Oh, yeah.
names of any locations.
I actually
we
don't
should do
know
that
anything
probably.
about that.
I mean, we are currently on New Kunlun. Penglai was the planet that all the Solarians were from originally, but there was a big disease outbreak called Tianhuo, and it kind of made everyone start
double-checking.
dying rapidly, and they couldn't find a way to cure it. So what they did is they took an island, and they put like a freaking Phineas and Ferb subplot. They put rockets
is
on it
everyone
and
ready
blasted
for
it off into
Wawa?
space.
Oh, yeah, Wawa
Everybody-
coming up.
Chat, get ready for
The
Wawa.
only thing people know Nua for.
Wow, wow.
Wawa.
Bisu.
Bisu.
She really is just soundboard the character, huh? Her and Hung, I
Yeah.
suppose. We did mention Gia briefly, that is true. There's a lot of, like,
This
Rarely
is
mentioned stuff.
honestly probably the most erratic boss in the game. Like, in terms of practicing, this boss is very difficult to practice. He's very dangerous, and his movement is really weird and confusing, and he has enormous hitboxes.
Yeah, comically enormous hitboxes.
and any percent gets to skip his second phase. We don't get to.
Well,
I mean, you guys
actually,
used
I
to,
did in
but
my
then I was
PB.
like, I'm done with, I don't want to skip that.
Yeah, blame yourself for that one.
yeah.
Yeah, that's my fault that we fight this guy for real now. Because I was like, I
Boo-hoo,
want to
we
fight
get
the
to have
bosses
more
for
fun.
real.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's faster if you actually do it correctly.
No, the cheese is like definitely slower on phase
Yeah.
2. Especially because you have UC.
Well, that's what I
You
mean.
see. Well, that's why we included it, yeah.
The boss also has weird abilities to like swing from other directions. Like he'll put his hand behind you and then like sweep, and it'll be like a reverse parry.
But you see,
The good news is Unbound Counter doesn't care about things like that, which we will be almost exclusively using.
The unbound encounter is not concerned
If
itself with
I'm
the
doing it
directionality of the
correctly,
hitbox.
most of the parries will be unbounded unless they are a projectile, in which case it doesn't matter.
the unbound encounter is not bounded by direction.
Yes, it does not concern itself.
Yeah, just like the air counter is omnidirectional, so is the unbound counter. Okay, I was really hoping he was doing the fast attack, but he was not. He was just kind of doing whatever.
Yeah. This boss is one of the few that can just straight up deal your entire health bar in one shot.
Doesn't help
with
we're at
his
full
big
damage.
charge, with his big charge attack that he runs.
His big sweeping moves. Here comes a big snake. I'm gonna disable him for a moment so I don't have to deal with his mix up here. So a lot of people think this boss is like random, but he's actually not. All of his moves are synced to Nua. Like, he will never do like this big sweeping move without like the double hairpins or whatever the heck those are supposed to be. Right now there's a snake move coming, I can tell, because he is not reacting at all. And I think it's going to be a ball or another snake move because he's once again just sitting there not doing anything.
Yeah.
Because he waits for the snake attacks to happen before
Unfortunate
he
timing.
actually does anything, and that's how you skip his
That good? I think it was
cutscene.
good. So yeah, you can also.
Is if you kill him and then you use the bow and then you pause and you hit him after he is dead, you will actually skip their death cutscene, and you will be able to just reload in here and not have to watch them die for 40 to 50 seconds.
Yeah, it's also doable for G, but the lineup's extremely hard, and I think it breaks
And
G, it
TPMS.
requires a specific pause-related nonsense.
Or do it
With
frame
this
perfect,
one,
but you know.
you can do it either with a bow or with a slash. If you the bow, it's way easier, but if you're doing something like any percent where you don't have the bow, you can do it with a slash, but it requires like frame perfect pausing. So I recommend just practicing pausing on the right frame if you're going to try that, because it's quite annoying, but you can get consistent at it. Another, I wanted to say something, but I forgot, so maybe you guys can talk about something.
There's some other things to mention from the Chinese myth thing, I think, if we're on a lower roll, I suppose. So first of all, of course, the game's main inspiration is the story of Hu Yi, hence the character's main name. The story specifically being Hu Yi shooting down the 9 suns, where
9 of the 10 suns.
9 of the 10 suns, yes, where he shoots down 9 of them because they all tried to come out at once, because before there were 10 suns that took turns, and so to save people, he shot down 9 of them, which is the very loose, admittedly, inspiration for this story.
So here is a very easy cutscene skip. You just save and quit after picking this up, and you will respawn in the room with the seal, and then Ruyi will not call you and tell you that you need to come back to the pavilion and whatever else he says, as he wants you to bring the serum back to him. This is where I would normally kill myself and respawn in pavilion, but unfortunately I did mess up the minor skip, so I was not able to maintain my glitch for the entire time. So what I will be doing instead is I will just show you the way it would have worked is that we would normally just kill ourselves on this enemy before respawning. Instead, we just go to the save point and I will just teleport back using a backup save to where we are supposed to be at this point in the game. As we normally would we would do a death warp here, which would spawn us right here in pavilion. And once we get the pavilion, we need to run over and collect our super mutant buster, which will allow us to slay those weird pink Solarian mutant creatures. And we need this to be able to break through the floor to the final zone so that we can get to the last boss. And you may be saying, you still haven't killed Ying Zhao. Don't worry, we're still on track for killing Ying Zhao. We haven't forgotten him. We're just still putting it off.
Not kidding when you said it was late. We
Yeah, the person who gets second to last is right.
He's still around, and we haven't missed him yet. We are going to be using a glitch to get to him later.
Eventually.
Yeah, even like later.
Yeah, we're still a bit away from Ying Zhao.
In the older route of the run, we would
In the older
actually
routes,
go
you
to kill
would
him
fight
now.
Ying Zhao now.
Yeah.
This is when you would normally fight him. You would normally use your fast travel and just go to Ying Zhao and fight him. I'm just going to get sword upgrade here, and we are going to reactivate the glitch I did earlier that I ended up not being able to use. So we just do that. Click this, and then we can use that to teleport to places we shouldn't be allowed to. Now, we can only teleport to places that we actually have fast travel nodes to. We can't travel to like any of the nodes. We have to actually have touched them. Otherwise, I could teleport to even more useful locations. But this is the closest place I can teleport to towards where we are currently going, which is the final zone of the game that we are currently making our way towards. Sorry, Ying Zhao, you used to be at this point in the game, but you have been since delayed even further.
Yeah, he has to wait even longer now. I'm sure
he has to wait very, very long.
Yeah.
Should I explain the route distinction? We've been talking about this entire time.
The route distinction of what?
Like the older route.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I guess if you want. I mean, there's not too much distinction at this point.
At this point, it's the same.
Yeah.
But essentially, the route's been split since Elevator, which is why we didn't get Charge Strike. But Elevator used to be so inconsistent since people just didn't want to restart their runs at that point that there was actually a split in the route for Charge Strike-less and with Charge Strike. I only ran the Charge Strike route because I stopped running around when it got discovered.
Oh, well. No ledge storage for me. But we
Yeah.
have the backup way of getting up there, which is barely slower. So we anger this guy. And then we just get on up here this way. So we have to break these 3 things holding this big thing up. Once we have broken everything, it will fall and break the floor, which will allow us into the final zone here. There's just one more to get, which we just get by falling and activating this
And the
here.
Looney
You have a little
fall.
Wile E. Coyote fall
Watch
here.
out, ye!
Oh,
And
so amazing.
Looney Tunes
this
guy.
will now let us get into the final area of... Why am I stuck on this enemy? Let me through!
Mutants are annoying.
The
Very
final
persistent.
area of this game. So this area is generally called Pawner, which stands for the point of no return. Once you get a little bit further, Ruyi will call you and tell you that, hey, if you go any further, you cannot go back anymore. This is like the end of the game. Turn around if you don't want to be progressing to the end of the game. He's going to call us right in a moment here.
Whereas 9 Souls is nice and lets you reload your save after you beat the game.
Yes, the
from
good
this
news
point.
is, if you do still mess up, you will have to finish the game, but it will load you before that message to whatever your like previous save was. So you can then still get like the other endings if you had not gotten everything, as it's quite difficult to like get the really good ending, as you have to do a lot of stuff that is relatively missable. Like, I did not get the good ending right away. Had to go on a search to find all of the nonsense you have to find. All of these little terminals are big lore things that tell you all sorts of fun things. If any of you guys want to explain any of the massive amounts of lore I am currently skipping past.
Sure. So essentially, we've been talking about Yi's mentor a couple of times. She's already been mentioned. This is Yigong's laboratory under the Tiandao Research Center, which is a bunch of naming. It's the council that launched Nukunlun. Doesn't really matter.
Tiandao is the virus that killed everyone, by the way.
Tianhuo is the virus. Tiandao is the council. It's weird.
Oh, sorry. Got a little confused. there.
So yes.
They all
So
sound very
what's being
similar.
revealed here is that the virus didn't just come from nowhere. In Yigong's search for immortality, she accidentally created the Tianhuo.
Yeah, technically the
And-
Tianhuo and the Tianhuo are both the thing that killed everybody.
Yeah, technically. And anyway, so we go through here. This is supposed to be her soulscape. We get her soul seal. This will allow us to enter the center area and fly back to Penguin.
That's what-
Except she's in here. That's not supposed to happen. So
Yep.
there's a bit more lore, but first, let's see this.
She's like, deception is the first rule of combat or something. And then
Sanchi, Art of War, something,
Yep.
something. I don't remember.
uses the force for some reason, I guess.
Yep.
It's her dream.
And just robs
Just
your
to
entire
show
game
you how
progress.
strong she is. She just uses the force on you and then takes all your stuff and then leaves.
Yep. Which, funnily enough, this part of the game does not actually check for you having any seals at all.
That's why any percent.
You do not need a single seal to get here, but
Hence why any percent really does not collect any bosses.
Yeah.
If any percent could, they would collect no bosses, but they have to kill Ji and Fushi to be able to break the floor to get down here.
All warfare is based
Yeah.
on deception. Thank you, Jen.
If they found a way to eventually clip through that floor or somehow get down here, they would just be able to go here immediately and end the game.
Somebody should look into that.
But nobody has found a way to get down here without using the super mutant buster.
Yeah.
yeah, the walls in this game are very, very stubborn. We found basically everything except the wall clip.
Yeah.
Yeah, we basically can only get through walls using rope storage or out of bounds, and out of bounds is almost never useful.
Almost.
Technically is
Yeah.
only used in no major glitches, I think. It might be used in like true ending or something if there's like a poison that you could get to or something, but
I don't know.
I kind of imagine True Ending doesn't even fight Gomang, and they just go down there normally and collect the poison and leave.
I think that's right.
I'm not familiar with the route. Yeah.
Because I don't think True Ending fights any bosses, basically.
Honestly, I don't know, but
I think they
Yeah.
basically play like any percent, except with 40 more minutes of talking to Shenang and Shan.
something like
Pretty
that.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah. And this cutscene we just skipped over was Yi disowning his sister because she wouldn't go
Yeah.
onto the New Kunlun.
It's a very emotional
And now-
cutscene normally. We just ignore it, of course.
Yeah.
And I do have some stuff to add to some previous things, which first of all, back on cut content, apparently there was originally supposed to be a Yi mirror fight here. But of course, scrapped due to budgetary and time
sounds
constraints.
interesting, although I'm not sure how they would do it, because Yi's main thing is
I
like
don't know
parrying, and
either.
that seems like a horrible mechanic to try to
But
incorporate.
whatever the case, yeah, there was concept for that got scrapped. Also, yeah,
Maybe it could be a little like Carmelita
Maybe.
in Silk Song, where she like blocks.
don't know. But also on lore. So the reason that Yigong betrayed Yi here is, first of all, Yi's idea of them betraying him before was just not telling him the origin of the virus. And then he got mad, Yigong fought him, that's what you see in the first cutscene of the game. The reason,
Yeah, he wanted them to tell the people what was going on, because
Yeah.
if people knew, people might make different decisions based on whether to
Yeah,
come
but the
or
reason
go.
she's betraying us now is because during her 500 years, she went a bit insane and decided that the mutations we've been seeing were actually the next evolution of Solarians, and she wants to force that upon every Solarian.
Yeah, she essentially got so guilty and consumed that she decided that maybe the thing she did wasn't a horrible thing that killed everyone and is actually a good thing.
Yeah, totally. So we need to go kill her now.
And then Xuanshan, through the power of, I don't know, like being hungry, saves us from being trapped in the soulscape forever, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know how he
I'm
does
not quite
this.
sure how this happens, but I don't know. Xuanshan is like concerningly smart, so
Yeah.
maybe you can just do that.
We get to go through one of people's least favorite sections of the game now.
Including mine.
Everyone loves the hallway.
Yep, the
This hallway
reference-
is awful, mostly because the game decided that having a HUD is for losers and isn't cinematic enough.
I believe it's a reference,
Yeah.
but it's an annoying reference.
If you've watched the movie Old Boy, which is a Korean martial arts film, I believe, this is a reference to a very famous scene from that movie.
But for us, it just pisses us off.
Yeah, it's just very annoying. But in this category, it's not that bad. In other categories, this is
this
Yeah,
is
this
hell on
the
compared
earth.
least
to any
bad
percent.
of this one. Actually, I guess no major glitches is actually better. But
Yeah.
Yeah, you have CS, that helps.
because Charge
little
Strike
bit.
is relatively decent here.
I think this is like the one
rare as
spot
charge- oh,
where
oops.
any percent unrestricted might be harder than restricted if you try to go for hitless hallway.
Also, I think they have Stasis Jade here, which is kind of nice.
Something like that.
Where we just have a Revive or Divine Hand, depending. I'm just luring these idiots over here. Doing it the any percent way.
Speedrun way is speedrun way.
We're just
An
going to use this
auto-scroll
bomb to
also,
kill everybody.
which-
The,
You know.
the green ones blow up for some reason. I'm not sure if it's explained why they blow up. They just do.
I guess they have like, I don't know, rhizomatic energy stored or something.
They're full of soup, and the soup blows up.
Or that. Could be either.
Full of soup.
So these enemies are just annoying, so I'm just going to use my bow to get them low first
die.
and then finish them off. Pretty low on health right now, but I still have Revival Jade, and I think I have all my heals.
Yeah,
I think
it's
it's just
mostly
temp
internal.
damage I have right now.
Actually, they might be all internal.
Although now it should be real damage because I, like, actually...
Oh,
This section's a lot easier with Waterflow.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're massacring
my
the
beloved.
Hubert family.
The Huberts are awful if you don't have
Should we tell
Waterflow.
the Hubert story actually?
Oh,
I don't
Okay.
know
oh, the Hubert story is like one note basically.
Where's the
Yeah.
other guy? Did he explode? Why did only one of them explode?
We previously used a an enemy, which was the like small mutant enemy, to skip getting a Fushi seal back in old any percent before ledge storage was discovered. And since we used that one mutant, we gave him a name, and the name was Hubert. So now, by extension, every single mutant of that type is now Hubert.
Yeah, so of course, the Hubert we said hi to earlier in the run, while he was explaining stuff, going up the elevator, is that very Hubert. However, now every small mutant is Hubert.
Yep. And same goes for the medium.
We jump over an arena
Just
fight
skip
right
the
there.
trigger.
Okay, I tried to use a bow and didn't realize the bow hadn't gotten to me yet, so now I gotta do this the normal way.
Hey, they do like to quick scope you from across the map.
They do like to snipe you off screen. They are not very fun enemies.
Yeah.
Every mutant enemy is a horrible disaster of design. I hate them all so much. But luckily you don't deal with them a whole lot in the game. They're a relatively rare enemy that's pretty much only at the end of the game. We're going to try to jump over one more arena fight
This one
here.
has the smallest hitbox somehow.
Don't want to fight a whole bunch of annoying mutants. And now here we finally
We owe
go.
somebody a visit.
We finally are going to visit someone we have been ignoring for a very long time.
So the All Souls and Seals.
Well,
Welcome, first boss. We are back.
Yay! It's all
and the
We
reason
came back for you, buddy.
the reason we came here so late is so we can absolutely melt this guy with Unbound Encounter.
The other reason is that there's an elevator that goes from this guy directly to the final boss.
Practically, yeah.
Yeah, it's much faster than normal run back. All right, nice. Also, normally you can't teleport back during that section, but of
Yes,
course,
normally
yeah.
teleport is disabled, but because we're using teleporting through a glitch, we can still do it. We could technically teleport anywhere, it's just that most areas are broken and impossible to maneuver around at this point in the game.
Actually, I've never seen what those areas are like. I should look at that.
I think it's generally not very interesting.
All right, well, we're coming up on my favorite part of the run.
Rip the real one.
Yep, rest in
waited for
peace,
so long.
Zhao. Waited for so long just to be beat in a minute.
Yeah, for some reason this elevator still works,
Yep.
so
Yeah.
I don't know why they allowed us
It
to
works-
do this, but this is why we fight him now.
It works one way. Not
It only works in this one direction to this one spot, but luckily that spot is exactly where I want to go.
so squishy for
Don't
an
know why
endgame
that
boss.
is.
I know, right?
Honestly, yeah.
Very squishy endgame.
Yeah,
So
Joe.
low HP.
Like, I thought this was supposed to be very serious. I don't know why they included that at this point in the game. It seems like kind of a
Some
mistake,
random
honestly.
horse robot, not even a soul.
Yeah, SMH.
strange.
It's a soul according to
Now
our
we go to
rules.
the actual final boss.
Yeah.
Yep.
To finish off this run. This boss is quite intense, although most people practice this boss an unreasonable amount of time. There are people in our community that have played this boss more than I have played this game.
Yep.
Like, just this boss.
She's the reason.
And
I
there's
love
good
the
reason
game.
for it.
I'm pretty sure, like, either it was like Danielle or Adorn had like 2,000 hours just on this
I think it's
boss.
both.
Honestly,
It's because they just
probably
play this
both of
boss
them.
all the time.
I think it's
Probably both of them.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. They both have over 1,000. I just don't remember which one's which. All right, so we're gonna switch our Jades up here. It's finally time to take off Revival Jade and use the one Jade we actually picked up for its
Finally.
ability. I'm going to level up Backlash.
Do you want to lock in for this, or should we?
I don't really care about saving to get my arrows back. Arrows are not very useful for this final boss. What were you asking?
I was asking if you
Sherplung and
want to
Lirkz?
focus for this, or if we should talk about it.
You guys can talk
Alright.
during this, but I do not really want to talk very much during
Understandable.
this.
All right,
So
so,
this
do you want
this
to go?
is it going. Yeah. This is it going.
If I start dying to her, maybe we'll stop talking. But
Okay. this is Gong. She's our mentor and also insane and wants to make everybody into pink goo. And we want to stop her
Something like that.
because that would be bad generally. So Aegong is by a pretty large margin the most difficult fight in the game, which is fitting for the final boss. And her moveset is very fast and it has a lot of mix-ups and more.
It's also very like disoriented. Like she has a lot of like weird slow timing things, like how Elden Ring things will try to like roll catch you.
Yeah, and the move you need to be most wary of generally is her talisman, because she taught you how to use your talisman and she's using it against you.
It is also a grab, so you cannot. Ouch! See, there it is.
Top 10 reasons. There's the grab. And it is fully unblockable if you do not use the Tai Chi kick. It will completely bypass a UC and just make you eat the talisman if you try to UC it.
You can dash through if you get the timing right, though. Or just
You
jump.
can dash through, yes. But
It has
this
a
fight,
very weird timing, and it's very strange.
yeah, this fight is a whole lot of using Divine Hand, which we haven't explained what Divine Hand does. Basically, what Divine Hand does is after you
phase
successfully... Nice. After you successfully use a unbound counter, if you have Divine Hand active, it will allow you to press the parry button again and do another unbound counter, and that can chain until you no longer have attacks to counter. So it allows you to get off a ton of internal damage very quickly, which is super useful on this boss specifically because you see her like delayed Virgil slashes. That is
I don't know why I did that.
three unbound encounters in a row for a ton of internal damage, and even her 2-hit combos. Basically everything you can Divine Hand, and it just learning this boss for the speedrun is all about learning when you can UC safely and when you can't.
Yep.
And yeah.
You have to watch out for
to be
the
over?
fire with HP this
No,
low.
it is not about to be over. Calm down.
Well,
But yeah, most fun fight in my opinion, by far.
yeah.
Now it's about to be over.
Now it's over. And
GG.
skadoosh.
That's time.
What?
I killed her in the air.
Awesome.
That's time, by the way.
GG's, y'all.
I've never seen this before.
I
That's the highest I've
didn't know
ever
this
seen her get
happened.
glitched out if you do that.
I was not aware this happened.
Neither was I.
It's pretty rare.
I played this.
I've never seen her die that high in the air, but
Showing
Plus
off. for-
7.
I think it's because I
Minus
animation
those,
canceled her
good.
death.
Yeah, you did the same thing as you did on Baichong.
But that is the final boss of the run. All of the bosses have now been slain. Funnily enough, I did only die to Xing Tian, I believe.
Yeah, that was the
Classic.
one death of the run to the funny
The
axe
stupid
guy.
Xing Tian with his dumb, weird rhythm. I just hit the talisman button at the wrong time and just ate it. But
That was actually a really good run. Even
That
with
was
the
a
plus
very
7.
strong
With low
run.
time removed.
Yeah. 222, by the way, which is
yeah,
pretty
and that's
cool.
with
Of course, had some
loads,
mistakes,
which
but-
add a ton of time. But also without the 7 minutes, I believe.
Yeah.
So
Still really good.
It's like
All things considered.
20 minutes of loads and then like 7 minutes of 7 minutes should be added to it, but then like 20 minutes should be like taken from it.
Yeah,
so,
unfortunately messed up skips that would have killed the run, but you know.
yeah, like obviously it doesn't work as a run because of the elevator and the teleport menu storage shenanigans that happened. But I tried so hard to not have the elevator happen, but
That was
there's only so much you can practice. Like you can practice it all day and you can still just slightly miss it. And it's
I
just like,
mean-
well, that's it.
Yeah. You had
Gotta
like, what, a
load.
week to warm up? So I don't think you were running this before Satan asked.
I mean, I was warming up with that trick before we started, like constantly. Like even at like 9, 10, I was still like running it. So because it was like the only trick I could practice without messing up the backup saves.
I see. Chat makes a good point. You have the 0.4 at the end of the 222-22. We got to redo it.
Yeah.
0.4. Oh, what? I'm confused.
Run it back.
Yeah, you have to make it. You have to make it a 0.2.
Oh, well, we probably started time slightly too late because I didn't say it. I don't know.
It's a 222-22.2 in our hearts.
Exactly.
Exactly.
It's a 0.2 in our hearts.
Another
How's the
thing that would be
Dorn
cool
two
for
squared?
chat is if they knew where to find y'all also. So please do.
Interestingly enough, I think 2222 is still like pretty high up there in the leaderboards just because of.
It's better.
It is.
It's better than my actual PB.
Wow. Very impressive.
And that's with the
Mine
load
too,
time.
easily.
So
And that's with load times gone and washed. Former
do you
world
want to say
record holders.
social stuff? Well,
Sure.
I have a YouTube that I put the world records on and random gameplay of like VODs from my Twitch. I also have a Twitch that is the same name that I'm going by here. Like my Twitch, my YouTube, and my Discord, all of the same name of Herdingoats or Herdingoats, whichever you want to say. They both work. Do you guys have anything you would like to talk about?
First of all, since Go can say it himself, he has some very good guides on some of the categories on his channel. So I'd
That's
recommend
true.
checking
I
those out if
forget.
you're interested in getting into
Yeah,
the run.
there are some guides for this, for most of these speedruns on there. I don't have a real guide for this category, although I do have a fully commentated run of this category that is almost a guide,
Which is the
which
world
is
record.
also the world
Practically a
record.
guide.
So
And
if you
then-
wanted to run this category, it's probably a good thing to watch either way. So.
Yeah. And then, of course, Nineful Speedrunning Discord, which is linked on the leaderboards. And I guess for me, I have a Twitch, YouTube, both under Lirkz. And then I mentioned this at the start of the run, but I also help manage along with a bunch of other people the Nine Souls community account, which should have an interview with the devs dropping sometime soon because should be getting that.
Supposedly.
I was told
Supposedly.
I was getting the responses back this week, all right? So sometime soon, hopefully.
Okay.
After waiting for 3.5
And
months.
then most of the people on the speedrunning community really like the boss mods.
Yeah.
But,
Check out
like most of the
Thunderstar.
people play that. But there are a few runners, but it's mostly me who runs the game.
Full game isn't too active right now, but who knows? You could be the one to change that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
we're
I'm
always
definitely
happy to
the main runner of longer categories, or like the medium length categories. The shorter categories, you can find Sun Tzu sometimes Pochi, sometimes Rivals.
Yeah.
Sometimes me if I feel like running the short categories one day. But I definitely like those categories less because my favorite thing about this game is fighting the bosses, so I like the categories that fight the bosses in it. More than I like the categories that don't fight the bosses as much, like any percent. But they are fun in their own way, like being short.
Yeah. As for where you can find me, I have a Twitch technically. When I did runs, I streamed on it. If I do runs again, I will be streaming on Twitch, twitch.tv/Sherplung. I have a YouTube where I post stuff sometimes. And I have Discord, which I use significantly more than the other two. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
And yeah, thank you for hosting this, Satan.
Yeah, seriously.
Of course, it was a blast. What a cool game, and y'all did amazing.